privilege to host tonight's event. So I'm going to be kind of just making sure that everything is kind of okay as we go to the next step and the next step. Now we're starting now because it's kind of, time is moving, and for the people that are already here, I think it's important that we honor that. And thank you for coming early, on time, and looking sharp. We'll just start with a word of prayer, a quick word of prayer from Nancy. Thanks, Nancy.
Let's pray. Lord Jesus, we come before you this evening with thanksgiving in our hearts. Thank you for bringing us together as a community. Thank you, Jehovah God, for everybody that is on the way, Jehovah, that you may bless them and lead them here, Jehovah God, so we may fellowship together. We may learn what is in store for us in terms of investing and money and all that, Jehovah God. We pray, Jehovah God, that you may be with us as we start, and we are going to honor you and glorify you even at the end of the evening. We worship you and we give you honor and glory because we know that you love us and you always plan these things for us even before we know they are going to happen, Jehovah God. We praise you and we uplift your holy name. Bless the team that has come from Kenya. As they talk to us, Jehovah God, may we also be open to listen and what is good for us, Jehovah God. We take it and run with it, Jehovah God, that we may also grow. In Jesus' name I pray, believing and trusting.
We are going to have some opening remarks from the Kenyan Community Victoria Chairperson, President, David Kamande. Welcome.
Thank you, Kaloki. Good evening, everyone. Hello?
Hello.
Come on, guys. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, God is good. Another time? Thank you. Thank you for your intentional attendance. I mean, you coming for this investment dinner shows that you're intentional about what you want to do with your money. And tonight, we not only have professionals, we have people who are willing, who are able, who are credible, who are trusted. We have brands here that are trusted and proven that will enable you to walk that journey. Cindy, it's a journey that we all need to be empowered. And tonight, even if you're not going to engage, you will acquire some knowledge. And we all know that knowledge is power. Cindy, so like traditionally, I prepared a speech, very emotional one. So use the serviettes on the table if you can't. Read the messages from Savo. They have some very beautiful flyers. I want to just make a quick remark about tonight and really talk about what is Biashara Mashinani. And to all our guests, to our panelists, Rocky, Gracious, Anne, Rona, Martha, and our beautiful Grace here also, who has gone and beyond in our community to challenge the young women to write their stories. She's our fresh author in our community, and she has a book that she has attended this dinner, but she would also like you to have a read of her newly launched book, which is Beyond Survival. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Kenyan community, KCV, it is my great honor and privilege to welcome you all to this Biashara Mashinani investment dinner. Tonight is not just another event. Tonight will be a statement in your lives. A statement that as a diaspora community, we are ready to move beyond conversations and into actions. A statement that we are intentional about our growth, about our growth economically, socially, and collectively. And most importantly, tonight it's a statement that we understand that our unity is our greatest asset. As KCV, we have always believed that community is not just about gathering, it is about building networks, building opportunities, and building the future. Every time we come together like this, as we often do, we are strengthening a foundation that allows each one of us to rise. Because when one succeeds, we all rise. When one is empowered, the entire community will be elevated. This is the spirit that drives KCV. This is the spirit behind everything we do as a community. So some of you are asking why Biashara Mashinani. Biashara Mashinani is not just a program, it is a model of empowerment. It is about taking opportunities to the ground, meeting our people where they are. It is about removing barriers to access so that investment, knowledge, and network are no longer distant concepts, but practical realities within reach. For far too long, many in the diaspora have had the desire to invest, but you lacked the right information, you lacked the right network, and you also lacked the level of trust. Biashara Mashinani helps you to bridge that gap. It connects us directly to credible institutions like NCBA and SAVO, to real opportunities, and to the knowledge required to make informed, confident decisions. And this is how communities grow. This is how KCV will grow. This is how wealth is built intentionally, collectively, and sustainably. So this is a real opportunity for you and I tonight. Why? Because we are not just here, this is not just an ordinary dinner. We have brought together a trusted financial institution and a real estate expert and experts directly to you. Tonight, we are creating a space where you can ask questions, gain clarity, engage directly, and also, most importantly, take action. Opportunities like these are rare because they are intentional, they are curated, and community focused. So this is not theory, this is not speculation. This is real access to a real opportunity to invest. And I want to encourage each one of us, do not just attend, do not just sit there, engage. Don't just listen. Tonight, ask questions. Don't just observe, position yourself. Because the difference between those who grow and those who remain the same is often one decision: to act. So, to all our leaders here, community members, and at large, our community, we must begin to shift our mindset from consumption to investment, from short-term thinking to long-term legacy, from individual effort to collective progress. We are not just here just for ourselves. We are here for our families. We are here for the next generation. We are here to build something that will outlive us. So allow me to extend my sincere appreciation to our partners, NCBA and SAVO, who sponsored this dinner and making this possible. So to Rona and Martha and the teams, Your commitment to engaging the diaspora at this level is not only commendable, it is transformative. And to our community members, thank you for showing up. Your presence here tonight is a reflection of a community that is ready to grow, ready to learn, and ready to lead. So, ladies and gentlemen, the future we desire will not happen by chance. It will happen by choice, by action, and by unity. So let tonight be the beginning of a new conversation, new partnerships, and new investments. Let's tonight mark a shift from potential progress. Because when we come together with purpose, we don't just overcome, we build, we grow, and we create a lasting impact. So karibuni sana to Biashara Mashinani tonight. And I hope this will be an opportunity to change your mindset. And I would like to take this opportunity also to acknowledge our community leaders who are here. Chairman Charles, he's an elder in the community also and supports us big time. My Vice President Nancy, our International Students Coordinator, Victoria, is also here. Our KCV ICT Coordinator, Isaac, of course, ananieka picha, very handsome hapo nyuma. I haven't seen anybody else from any other person. Felix, where is Felix? And Felix, tafadhali wave, Felix. Where is Mwangi? Behind Mwangi, actually. Wave to us. Please remind me your name. Yes. So, anyone I'm missing? Oh, Winnie Wandera, that's our KCV Grants Coordinator, Funds and Grants Coordinator. So, and of course, Bwana Kaloki, our very close friends to KCV. So, asanteni sana, may God bless you, and may God build your investments as you plan. Asanteni sana, karibuni.
Thank you, David, for those great remarks. Yeah. So everyone here is a leader, and the evidence is you're here today. So you are leading from the front. Now, David gave us a great opening sentiment. I just want to say that if you would like to learn about what is on offer tonight, is there something that's potentially of value to you? Now let's brace ourselves, because up next is somebody who's well versed to be able to speak to us about banking and wealth creation. And so I will not take much time to say anything about that, because they're going to say. The only thing that I can say is our hope and what we're trying to have here tonight is, before we leave, everyone gets some value add of some sort. Whether you're the investor, or you have product, or you are a friend of the community like me, everyone needs to have some value add of some sort. And when we are together in this environment, I think we're just about to do that in greater ways and for the future. So, without further ado, to speak to us about exploring banking solutions and wealth creation strategies, let's welcome Rona Kabue from NCBA Bank.
Thank you. He's so articulate. I like that. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Salimikeni za nyumbani. Good stuff. My name is Rona Kabue. I work at NCBA Bank in Nairobi, Kenya, and I head diaspora banking. What a privilege, right? We're privileged to be able to move around the world. Yeah. But for me, it's more than just being able to be here. For me, it's a mission to be able to tell you what to do at NCBA. And more than anything, is that whatever we do, we make sure that your life back home is still ongoing, right? Even when you're here, from a banking perspective. So I'm gonna ask, what's the most basic thing you can have in terms of a product? What's the most basic product you can have with a bank anywhere in the world? Like the most basic. What would that be? Okay, speak to me, guys. Speak to me. Eh? I'm hearing a chorus, eh? Say that again, Lucky. An account, right? Why would you need an account? Why? It's the most basic, but why do you need it?
Money, transactions.
Transactions, right? Okay, let's go back a bit. So if you have an account back home and you want to do transactions, what transactions do you want to do? Business? Something else? Personal? Pay bills? Okay, let's go to personal. Let me touch your heart a bit. Okay, so today you are called and told, hey, today mom, my baby is unwell. We're taking her to hospital, it's an emergency. You're being given pressure, too much pressure. Send money, she's dying, oh my gosh. Serious? Eh? And then you ask, because you're under duress and pressure, you ask. Then you ask, how much do you need? And they tell you, for now, not for now. Send 30,000 shillings, then we'll tell you more. Senior, do you know those stories? Then you send your 30,000 shillings. Then dead silence, suddenly dead silence. Painting a picture. Dead silence. Then you're wondering, is Bave okay? You're calling your brother, you're calling your sister, you're calling, no one is speaking, so now you're here. Then stop. Uko shift, but uko tense. Senior. Then suddenly after a couple of hours, the colleague is like, she's okay, but we need to buy medicine. You sent 30K. Did anyone account for that 30,000 shillings? Nobody accounted. Senior. Okay. Then now you have to send money, another 30 for medicine. Senior. Okay. Which medicine? You have no idea. But only because you want your mom to be okay. So today, you sent 60,000 shillings back home with no level of accountability. You don't even know if your mom was unwell. Actually, you have no, as a matter of fact, you have no idea. But when you do get an opportunity to talk to her, she'll tell you, nilikuwa na kahoma, niko sawa. Sindio, 60,000 shillings later. What is my point? When you have an account in Kenya, specifically at NCBA Bank, those bills, those ones, you're being told to pay, you can actually pay for them through your account at NCBA. How do you do that? When you open an account at NCBA, we actually set you up on mobile banking. And we don't set you up on mobile banking with a phone number, CG Safaricom, now you must have a 254. No. We use your Australian number here, and you open your account and set you up on mobile banking using your phone number here. Why do we do that? For security reasons. Let me paint another small picture. So now, you still have your Safaricom line. So you know the story of Safaricom lines back home. What is the story? What's the story? Yes, Anderson? Hold on, hang on. I'm going this way. So your line is 0722-778. Because you came to Australia, you've not been using it for a long time, isn't it? Then suddenly, your Kamau, now it's owned by Mwangi. So now, when people are calling Kamau, they're finding Mwangi. And Mwangi is telling them, I am not Kamau, I am Mwangi. But then, you can find a very brilliant Mwangi who will say, Tuma pesa. Sindia. And then Mwangi begins to receive your money. Mwangi begins to get your text messages, your transactional text messages, and before you know, Mwangi finds a way into your account. Okay, and that is why we encourage you, when you open an account, use your number, your active phone number, which is the one that you use here. Okay? Now, we've talked about the most basic thing you can have. It's a what? An account. It's mitigating many things. More than anything, mitigating the small problems of losing money. So with the account, you can make payments on M-Pesa, right? Pay bill, till. So let's go back to the situation where your parent is unwell, okay? So when the person calls and says, oh, 230,000, tell them, no problem, give me the pay bill number or the till number of the hospital, I'll pay direct. So suddenly the 30K becomes 5,000 shillings. Suddenly. Okay? But we're trying to mitigate those things. Guys, you guys work very hard here. You know, this is my third time in Australia, and I'm beginning to understand a lot of things. Back home, people think you have a tree here, and you just pluck in Australian dollars, send it. Pluck another 100, like a 50, send. That's a lie, right? The reality is you guys work very hard. So by the time you're sending me that $50 or that $100, it's hard earned, and that's the truth, right? It's hard earned. That shift was not easy, man. Personally, I have gotten to understand you, Kenyans who are based here or in the diaspora, based on how you work, how you do your things. And so for us, our solution is around making sure that we're able to mitigate some of those things that would cause you to lose money back home. Okay, so you worked hard. You worked hard. As I live Rocky here will tell us about mortgages in Australia, but me, I'll tell you about the ones in Kenya. Okay? So you've worked really hard, but you want to have some roots back home. And of course, in true African style, having roots back home is what? Owning what? A quarter. Ain't it? Senor? Akubrauti magu? Maguta, fire, hot. Okay? So what NCBA does is that we're able to finance you to purchase a plot of land, okay? We're able to finance you to purchase a house, okay? You've seen an apartment in Westlands. As a matter of fact, one of us here, we're talking over there at the table, and they were like, I just came back from home, and I cannot believe that I'm paying for the Airbnb. Imagine in your own home, where you came from, where you grew up. When you go on holiday in December, you're paying for an Airbnb. Why not own your very own? As a matter of fact, have the apartment, no problem, and actually lease it for Airbnb, but book it when you're on holiday to use it when you're home. Okay, guys? So, I said we can finance you to buy a plot of land. Then I've said you can identify an apartment and we'll finance you to purchase that. We can get a little sophisticated, right? So sophistication is construction. So I have a question. What's the biggest challenge with construction back home? Whether you're constructing a residential home or you're constructing a commercial building. A commercial building can be, say, a block of apartments, for example. What is the greatest challenge? Yeah, I see a big broad smile, eh? What's the challenge?
Accountability, trust.
Accountability, trust, something else. Yeah. Professionalism, funds, quality. So you have an ideation in your mind. I can build a home back. I can build a home somewhere I can go back to from time to time. But how do I go about it? Then when you remember, well, a contractor who will start telling me, Madam, there is no sand today. Madam, Madam, Budokinjo has closed. Today they are not operating. Or they tell you the price of cement has gone up. And yeah, am I giving you true story? You've heard of this, right? Right, so remember, us guys provide what? Solution, all right? So I said we go to a sophistication, so we go to sophistication in terms of construction back home. So all those things you have mentioned in terms of challenges, NCBA is actually able to mitigate that for you. You ask me how? Okay, so NCBA has a product called EasyBuild. So EasyBuild is purely a construction facility. What do we do? If you already have an existing piece of land and you want to construct on it, it can be a residential home, it can be a commercial building. Commercial building is, again, block of apartments, it can be a mall, it can be something of commercial value, okay? So what NCBA does is that we finance you, okay? And we also project manage for you. How do we project manage? Now, do you know which architect you're going to use today? No. As a matter of fact, you've been here 20 years. Do you even know what that happens back home? No. So you have no idea which architect to use. Do you have a clue which contractor to use? No idea. Do you know which quantity surveyor to use? No clue. Do you know which engineer to use? structural, to do what? Do you know which one to use? No. So what NCBA has done is come up with a consortium of specialists, a team that is able to have a conversation with you. You agree with them on the project you want to do. They curate it for you. The architect draws for you. The QS comes up with the bills of quantities. The engineers come with the structural drawings, etc. They put together that. You agree with them. You pay each other. Then NCBA comes in, finances you for that project. And over and above that, then NCBA is your eyes and the ears on the ground, the project management part. So your contractor will never call you and start telling you, the cement got finished. Or you're trying to look for your contractor, and your contractor disappeared for 3 weeks. And pull at your money. If they said they are doing foundation, how much is required? 10 million shillings. You sent 10 million shillings. That was the end of you and that contractor. That ended like that. So what NCBA will therefore do is finance, okay, and project manage for you. But construction can be a bit complex. But you have a big dream to go to do it. So the question is, where do I start? Oh my gosh, I really want to do this. But where do I start? We have a projects team, and that's what they handle. They manage all the projects that NCBA finances. And what we do then is we just have a conversation, have a meeting, have a Zoom meeting, discuss your dream. And when you discuss your dream, then we begin to also discuss, where do you start? Now, we've talked about financing. What am I using to determine if you're actually eligible for a loan back home? You see your income's here. You had $100. That's what I will use. So I just need, as a start, conversation, starting. If you come to Rona and say, Rona, I'm considering to take a loan facility with your bank, what is needed? Or where do we start? Where do we start is, let's first check. If today you are taking a loan facility with NCBA, what would I qualify for? Okay? And to do that, I'll request for your payslips here, send them on email, I'll request for your bank statements here, and your credit report here. So I analyze and come and tell you, if today you're taking a facility from, or a loan facility from NCBA, you say qualify for 20,000 Kenya shillings. 20 million Kenya shillings, just as an example. So you can play between 1 million and 20. You can go the full years up to 20, or you can take 15, you can take 5, depending on the project scope, or whatever it is that you want to do back home. Okay? We are good up to there? Good students? Amen? Amen? Good stuff. Now, let's assume you've done all those great things I've talked about, whether through financing or through your own way. But then you want to invest your hard-earned cash, okay? This story, by the way, what you're doing is actually building what you call a portfolio. So we're assuming you open an account, then we assume you're building some assets, okay? Then now, we're going to build something else. How do I invest my hard-earned cash? Okay? So what NCBA does is that you can be able to invest in different things, with different avenues. So we have what we call a money market fund. I'm almost certain some of us know what that is. But NCBA has a money market fund in Kenya shillings and US dollars. Okay? The beauty of a money market fund is that, number one, you can access your money at any one time. Like when you need it, then you're able to get it. So we normally encourage guys who want to save to come home in December, put money aside, put it in a money market fund. Why? Because money market fund doesn't have, you can top up at any time. You can even have a standing order into it, right? You can top up at any time. And this money is earning you something. It has an interest on it, so it's earning you something. And the thing about money market is the money is not locked. So when you need it, you just request us and we send it to you same day. In comparison to a fixed deposit account. Do you know what that is? Let's go to school, guys. Fixed deposit meaning?
Assuming a fixed deposit account is when you have a fixed amount of money that goes into the account.
Okay. Sally, give him a sweet. Somebody else? Fixed deposit? You know what a fixed deposit account is?
It's where you deposit, but you're not going to take it out soon. It is better to sit there to get interest as you go.
She's the closest. Give her 2 sweets. All right? So fixed deposit is basically you're fixing for a period of time. So let's assume 3 months. So I have 1 million shillings. I fix it, I put it in a fixed deposit account for 3 months, okay? And it earns me interest. Now, the difference between fixed deposit and money market is, if you fix for 3 months, it is fixed for 3 months. Please don't come and tell me I want it before, because I'll not pay you interest. You have to wait for your 3 months to end, and then either get your money back, or you let it roll over again for another 3 months. Money market, on the other hand, it keeps going. You can top up when you want. It earns you interest as you want. And when you want it, you get an emergency, you let us know, you get your money same day. That's the difference. So, after talking about fixed deposit, money market, there's treasury bills and treasury bonds. Who knows what that is? I'm not going to say anymore, I'm done. Madam, what is a treasury bond? You're shaking it. What is a bond?
It's like government security that is out to the
Sandy, give her 2 sweets. Sir, what is a bond?
It's a way the government raises cash to finance projects and can give you a certain credit.
This guy, I think he needs even more than 2 sweets. He knows what he's saying. So yeah, that's sort of bonding. So the government of Kenya, thank you. The government of Kenya decides they want to build a road in Marsabit between Nairobi and this is pure assumption. Nairobi and Marsabit, and they need to raise some money to be able to execute that. Okay? So they come to us on Wananchi and say, guys, purchase a treasury, a bond from us. Okay? We are raising 20 billion, just as an example, and we need that money from yourselves to be able to execute this project, okay? And then we will pay you back an interest on the amount you give us, all right? So then that transaction is handled at Central Bank of Kenya. Central Bank of Kenya is a regulator of banks back home. So they're the ones who handle that. They're the ones who announce when a bond is available, okay, for purchase, all right? So the bond I've described is called an infrastructure bond. And an infrastructure bond is actually tax-free, okay? So how does NCBA assist you to do that? Is when you're interested in a bond, we will guide you on how to go about it, right? So now the beauty of what Central Bank has done now is that they have their own app. So you can download the app and open what you call a CDS account with them, and then you can be able to begin to invest in the treasury bonds or treasury bills, right? Us as NCBA, we come in as your support system to open the account, because you're required to have an account to be able to trade in bonds or bills. That's number one. And number two, whenever you want to know if there's any bonds or bills that are available to purchase, we actually do send emails to our customers to update you on any bond that's coming up. And if you're interested, then we're able to support you to purchase it through and through. That's number two. Then the other thing that we do is around, I've talked about bonds. Bills are short-term investment solutions. So the bond is long-term, a bill is short-term. Again, done by Central Bank, okay? Then, we have invested our money. We've done amazing things with our money. Senior, okay. Now, let's come to another pain point. So, in this community, somebody passes away. All right? What's the next thing that will happen? What will you be told? Mchango. So between January and we're in April now, how many 50, 100, 20, how many have you done? Especially community leaders. Commander here, how much have you given towards those kind of things? You know, estimate. It's a lot. See, about 500 a month. 500 a month per day is a monthly installment for a mortgage. Eh? Please, sir. So, the insurance solution that we have is called the last expense cover. What does it do? It literally that covers last expense. So, God forbid somebody passes away. The highest cost of somebody passing away is repatriation. Let me ask, how much does it cost to repatriate a body back home? And you know, because we're African, you must be buried in Nyeri. You know what I mean? You have to be buried where you came from. Okay? So what's the average cost of repatriation from Australia to Kenya? Example, and Commander can't answer, he knows.
$25,000.
How much is that in shillings? $25,000. Yes, sir. How much is that in shillings? Let's give it a round figure. 2.5 million to 3 million Kenya shillings. True? Imagine somebody is dead and we have to purchase a whole apartment from Savo to take this person to go and be buried 6 feet under in Kiambu County. And so that 3 million has to come from the community being you who is here. And that's one individual we've talked about. We don't talk about the many individuals in the course of 2026 who pass away. You see the picture? So our last expense cover, what therefore it does, is that's an insurance solution, okay? That covers exactly that, last expense. So if somebody from the community passes away and they had signed up for that insurance cover, then they are covered, okay? One, to repatriate their body back home, and two, the beneficiaries or the beneficiaries that have been appointed, they get a sum of money that actually goes towards the funeral expense. It may not be significantly much, but it actually goes towards that. But what the cover does is it covers the higher cost of repatriation. You can sign up as an individual, or you can say your KCV members. I don't know how you know who's your member, who is it. But you can come in as a group and take it as a group cover. And when you take it as a group cover, it therefore means that if anybody in the community passes away and you're part of the group and you already signed up for it, then automatically the people in that group don't have to give their 50 or their 100 or their $20 because they already know that this person, all right, had already signed up and the expenses are covered. So even if you decide to collect money, because you can still do it, we're not telling you not to do it, the bigger chunk has been taken care of. Do you see my point, guys? I will end there by saying, you're the only one who can take action. Me, I'm a facilitator. And me, more than anything, is the value that comes from all this. The saddest part is, if you spend your life here for 30, 40 years, and one day you have to come back home, and you're coming back to nothing. If you came back home, if you're from a village in Isiolo, I'm just giving an example again, I'm not hating on anyone from Isiolo. You work here tirelessly, then you have to go back to Ushago in Isiolo, in that little igloo that they live in. Do you see my point? You work really hard here, and black tax is real. Ain't it real? Some of us have had to come here, figure it out, pay our school fees, figure out my life, what will I eat, what will I sleep? But you know, like the figuring out is a lot. But back home, they're still asking and asking and asking. And the pressure is real. So when you ever work for yourself, when you ever do something for yourself, the time is now. My call to action today is take action. Don't be afraid. Martha will give you a saying she says she'll tell you today. She'll tell you, and the reality is you will keep working. You will keep working and end up with nothing. And for us, we want you to have something. And allow me to stop there. I'm here with my colleague called Sally, right? So we are at that corner and we're happy to support you. We can start with the most basic, an account. Basic. As a matter of fact, that is your test with us. Are these people for real? One story is a job. What the heck did she say? Right? Today, test us. Test. Let me open an account and let's see how this thing goes. If you're brave, because I know you're all brave, come let's discuss your property ownership. Come let's discuss how you invest your money back home. Come let's discuss how you mitigate some of these things so that you stop losing money. Right? We have partnerships with real estate developers. That's why you see let's say you see NCBA Savo, NCBA Savo. Why? Because they're our partners. Why would a bank have a partner in real estate? It's so that you, the investor, is comfortable knowing that a bank can finance. If a bank can finance, is that good for you or bad for you? It's good for you, right? It means the bank believes in that product. But if a bank tells you at each land beyond to buy, that one we can't finance, then believe us, but they trust us. And maybe you're better off going through a financial system to own property as opposed to doing your own things. Because your own things, you may never Chomeka. You will Chomeka. And that's why we're here. So, for the sake of rewarding me coming all the way from Nairobi, naomba biashara. Asanteni.
All right. It's a lot of information, Rona. Thank you so much for unveiling what is available for us. From time to time, the Kenyan community gets an opportunity to partner with organizations, and I think there are different levels. When a chairman will probably let you know, but I've heard there is, I don't know, platinum and gold and different things, but I think having this information come to us and we have the opportunity to maybe partake and make something out of it, it's really great. Thank you so much. Up next, February 18th, we got a partner in the Kenyan community for mortgage space. And I remember, David, when you sent that, it was like, wow, okay, we have a partner. So we have Silver Key Loans. So founder, Silver Key Loans, Rocky Sidu. And the thing that I saw here that I found interesting, and I'll probably just read it to you, was professional, reliable, and transparent financial guidance tailored to our needs as Kenyans living in Australia. That's what came through. And so it's already been tested. I think Rocky is here to speak for himself. I won't speak much, so without taking part of his time, let's welcome Rocky Sidu.
Good evening, everyone. This is my first time actually on speaking like this, so I'm at a loss of words at the moment. So I'm not really sure what to say, but I have got a friend always in my pocket that I keep, which helps me out in situations like this. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to David, who invited me here. And has given me an opportunity to speak and become a member of the KBC. Is that right? KBC. So my name is Rocky Sidu, and again, thank you for inviting me here tonight. It is actually a really pleasure to be part of the Kenyan community and be surrounded by such great people. So as Kaloki has already mentioned that I'm a mortgage broker. I'm based in northern suburbs in Epping. So pretty much what I do is help people that are looking to get into the property market, whether it's first-time buyers or people that already have homes that are looking to maybe refinance and get better rates. So pretty much anything to do with lending and finance, I help people with all their needs. I know that sometimes finance and mortgage can be a very stressful journey, but people that are not aware of the Australian property market, and I think that's where my role sort of kicks in. So I help people with understanding the process and making the process as smooth as possible for them, and making the journey pleasant. For me, I'd like to say also a little bit that it's not just about business. I think anyone that's sort of becoming a part of the community is more to build network in that community, and also from time to time we as a community help out each other in everything that we do. So once again, as I said, I don't have much to say. I'm at loss of words. But once again, thank you for giving me a chance and opportunity here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Rocky. It's a man of few words.
As I said, mate, it's not my first time.
Done well, thank you. So the founder of Mindful Family and Wealth, which is a purpose-driven initiative dedicated to helping families build strong financial foundations while nurturing emotional and spiritual well-being. Her journey into entrepreneurship is anything but conventional. With a Bachelor of Statistics, yes, numbers, and developed a deep appreciation for numbers, patterns, and systems. Yet, she quickly recognized that numbers alone could never tell the full story. Because behind every statistic lies a life, a family, and a heart that matters. This realization led her into nursing, where she worked alongside individuals and families during some of their most vulnerable moments. It was here that Anne gained profound insight into the human experience, learning that true transformation often begins not in crisis, but in prevention, recognizing patterns early and guiding people towards stability before challenges escalate. Through her work, Anne identified that critical but often overlooked connection, the powerful influence of financial beliefs and unspoken money patterns on family unity, emotional health, and long-term well-being. Now, she had a vision, and out of this vision, Mindful Family and Wealth was born. This platform is a place where financial strategies are seamlessly integrated with emotional intelligence and spiritual growth. Now today, we are lucky to have Anne in our midst, and it's my privilege and honor to invite Anne to the stage. Welcome.
Thank you, Kaloki. That was a beautiful introduction. I couldn't believe it was me, actually. Hi, everyone. My name is Anne, and I'm your friend when it comes to your finances. I deal with them when they haven't gone to the mortgage brokers or the banks. And my main aim is for families to thrive and attain their financial freedom. Mainly at the moment, I'm working with moms, and most of the people are asking me, what exactly do you do? I am a faith-led family and wealth coach. So most of people don't know how it really works, and I thought maybe the easiest way to tell you is through one of my clients who allowed me to share their feedback. And I'll just ask Isaac to play the video. It's just 3 minutes.
I'll just give you this space. Yes, introduce yourself, tell us who you are. Yeah. First of all, my name is Dandening, and I'm a wife. And I'm up to 2 lovely boys. And the reason why I'm here today is because for the longest time I felt like I was stuck with about finances, because most of the times I did leave that topic to my husband, because he was much more like good with numbers. That's what I believe. Like, yeah, good with numbers and everything. So I left that topic with him. But over time, it has been something that was stressing me, and I felt very overwhelmed and stressed about it, to a point where I don't even know where my bank card is, because that's how stressed I was about finances.
And I thought finances is all about perfection. It's about, you need to know about the numbers, you need to know how to manage your money like properly. And I thought it was about having good salary, having like millions of bank accounts full of savings and all that.
Yeah.
But with that, I tried other methods. I tried reading books. I tried other finances classes, but it did not resonate with me. And the reason why I took this is because the difference is the one-on-one support that you give me and the mentorship. And it was just general information first at the beginning, and it was very personalized to me and my life. And what made me finally say yes is I got tired of feeling behind. And I realized if I don't change something, nothing will change. So that's why I wanted a big shift. And the biggest shift I've done for myself wasn't even making more money at first. It was actually understanding myself and the money through this one-on-one session and learning simple systems that actually fit me and complement the things that I want. Because at the beginning of the session with Anne, she tries to understand what are your needs, what do you want. It's not about, okay, how much do you have? How much savings do you have? Okay, do you have this? No. She tries to understand who you are and she tries to work with you. And actually, it's mind-blowing because the things that I have learned so far, it's something that I knew, like my values, I knew about them. But to actually vocalize them and to really talk about them in depth, that made the change. I'm talking about this and it's just been 4 sessions, but in those 4 sessions I've learned so much that right now you can see I feel like I am glowing. My confidence is back.
Thank you so much. Can we clap for Sarah? So basically that's what I do. I work with moms who are feeling financially overwhelmed and they have learned all these things about finances, but they're not able to implement them in their lives and allow them to learn and actually work them according to their values and what they want to achieve in their future and make them happen. So today, I was invited by KCV. Thank you, KCV, and thank you for bringing all these great minds. Thank you, Ronald. I've learned so much from that, and I wanted to just give you some of the foundations about wealth building. And I have a question for you. And so be honest and raise your hands if I ask the questions. Who of us want to experience true financial freedom? Raise of hands. Who wants to experience financial freedom? Everyone? Okay. Okay. And who want to live in their own terms, saying when they can work, do the job that they want. My husband Michael doesn't want to. I think he wants to. So, who want to live? The money doesn't feel stressful. They want to just enjoy the money and be part of the journey. Yes, good job. How would that feel for you? I'll just ask a person, how would that feel? I'll ask our vice. How would that feel, living without?
I think it would be awesome. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Awesome and liberating. What a good definition. So I'll ask the 4th question. Who of us have a vision of how they want to get there? Who has a vision of how to get to their financial freedom? Raise of hands. Good job, good job. I have a few hands going up, Good job. Thank you so much. Who has the exact plan on how they are working their way up there? Yeah, good job. We have a few hands going up. Clap for all those people who had it. Thank you. I want to talk about financial freedom because we also had few hands which were down. That means we need some clarity alongside that journey of financial freedom. So financial freedom, who can give me a definition of what is financial freedom? I'll give the person who had their hands up. So what is financial freedom?
It's very different for everyone, but for me, it's really living life on my own terms.
Thank you so much. Clap for her. Financial freedom is living our life in our own terms, and it is very different for every individual here. It's very unique for you, for her, and that's what we want to get to into everyone's life. That's why we're here. This is a wealthy talk, wealth and investment talk. We all want to achieve our financial freedom. I'll just give you 3 core secrets. 3 core secrets of getting there, and some of the things that you can start, small steps, things that you can start now. The next slide, that one. Awareness. If you want to attain your financial freedom, you need awareness. And an awareness is just knowing. And knowing is you cannot actually command what you don't know. If you don't know where you are going to, where are you actually even heading as a person? Like, where are you? What do you want to achieve? If you don't know, then you cannot get there. And so awareness, in awareness I had 3 things that we need to be aware of as people and as our personal finances. One is our financial freedom number. Our financial freedom number. That's the first thing you need to be aware of. No, back. Yeah. No, actually, anyway. So our financial freedom number, I think that slide is not there. So our financial freedom number is the number that you have set as a person, that you say, I can now live in my own time. I can now quit the job that is no longer serving me. And we really want to get to that place where we can say, I don't have to work. I'm working, but I don't have to. So how do you calculate that number? It is very different for each individual, because your financial freedom number might be out of what you have invested. If you get the same amount of expense, assuming you use 5,000 in a month, and that is your total expense for that month. If your investment, we were just told about the investment in NCBA, if your investment can give you the same amount without you having to go and labor at work, then you can say, I can live in my financial freedom life. And it doesn't mean that you need to stop working, but you can now work at your own terms. Another thing is your net worth. Who knows their net worth? I'll just ask that question. I love asking questions, sorry guys. Who knows their net worth? Thank you, we still have a few hands. And I'll just give you a secret of calculating the net worth. Because your net worth is just like where you are starting now. Your net worth is your total, liabilities. No, I even go backwards. Asset minus liability. So your total asset, and asset is anything that you have that has value. It might be a car, it might be, and it's not the car value that you bought with, it's the current car value. It might be your house, if you own a house, if you have bonds, if you have shares, if you have anything that you have, that is the asset. And what are your liability? It's anything that you are owned, like for example, loan, personal loan, mortgage, and all that. And the last thing that we need to know about awareness is awareness of our cash flow. And cash flow is what you have so that you can be able to save. So cash flow is your income, whatever you earn on your day-to-day life, minus your income minus your expenses. So the pay you get, if you have a business, the amount you get from your business, and then you subtract your expenses. And that is what cash flow is. So those are the the first 3, in the secret of awareness, those are the first 3 things that you can get into knowing. Then the second secret is the systems. And the system are just simple things that help us to manage our money even on a bad day. When you don't have motivation, who of us here comes for many motivation speaking, but then they're able to implement for 2 days, but then they can't be able to follow through? I was one of them. Before I got the systems, I loved listening to financial talks. I love going to the financial speaking, and then I get motivated, and then a few days down the line, I was asking myself, why is it not working? I do everything that is supposed to be done, but it is still not working. And this is where the system plays in part. Because systems works even when you don't feel motivated. And some of the system that I encourage people to use is budgeting. And this is just to help you. It's not to restrict you or not to make things complicated in your life. It is to help you reduce your money leaks. And money leaks happen in different ways. Some of us is subscription. Who has subscription that keeps taking their money away? Yeah. Me too. I had some, and I couldn't realize until I checked my account and I realized I was losing more than $20 every month. How much is that per year? I would be investing it. And $20 in Kenyan money, that is 20 multiplied by 80, that is 1,600. I think with NCBA there's something that you can put in with 1,600 that is getting lost, and that's why you really need to know where your money is going to. Another thing is protection systems. And protection system, they are emergency and insurances. Sometimes life happens. We don't have control of how life is happening, but we have control of what we can do when it might happen to us. So that's where we go into insurances, emergency funding, and all those things that you can set for your emergencies. The other system that I love telling people to put in is your saving and investment. And this is just to automate your saving and investments. This helps you to work beyond, you don't have to stress about, did I save $1,000 this month? You automate your saving in that when you receive your money, it can go directly to your investment or your saving account. And that will remove the willpower, because sometimes, I think there was an example given here about a parent, you are called, and truly there's a person who is sick, but if you didn't have that money in your account, would you have sent? No, you wouldn't have sent. You say that I don't have money at this point, but when I get, and it will also give you time to do your due diligence, to check if it was that true, because as Lorna was saying, we work so hard, and people work day and night. Some people don't rest. I have a few friends here who are just talking about that. But then why would you be losing your money? The one that you have actually worked so hard for. You'd better be having more rest and having more time for yourself. The last secret, and everyone is talking about it, is taking action. Having clarity is very powerful. Having systems that you have automated, they are very nice, but you have to take action. And taking action, assuming if you don't take action, you lose on something, but that is very important. Compound interest. The best time to take action was yesterday. Who knows the next best time to take action? Now, after all these conversations that we are having, just choose one thing that you need to take action upon, and take action. Because the best thing to do is not learning, the best thing to do is taking action. Otherwise, you lose, and you lose on compound interest. Another thing that I find a lot of people is when they fail. When you fail, just stand up. Because if we fail and we don't stand up, what happens to us? We remain in the fallen state. And if the babies were falling and they don't stand up, then we'll all not be walking at this point. So when you fail, stand up, wipe yourself. Failure is not the end. Failure is just a feedback to tell you, I need to refine something. Get to know what you need to refine and continue walking. This is your own journey. Don't compare your path with anyone else. Protect your time, time is so precious, more than money. Protect it with all you can, because it's our greatest asset. Set your financial boundaries and honor them as much as you can. This is your journey, this is your pace. Your season is different from my season, so live your season. And I have a few stickers for you. Success is a journey. Progress over perfection. Trust your process. Keep going and go for it. Thank you so much, and you don't have to walk alone. I'm here to walk with you if you need that support. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Anne. Let's give her another round of applause. Systems. Action. Is that value adding? We learned something here? Good. Now, for our next speaker, I'm just gonna read this quickly. The founder and CEO of Eagle Life, a leading multi-award-winning mortgage credit advisory firm specializing in home loans, investment lending, and commercial finance. Gracious is an experienced property investor who has helped hundreds of clients build wealth through strategic property acquisition and smart lending structures. Her practical, result-driven approach makes her a trusted voice in the finance and property industry. She also serves on the Deakin University Finance Advisory Board, where she contributes her expertise to shaping the next generation of finance professionals. Driven by her belief in financing every dream, Gracious is passionate about empowering others with knowledge and strategies to achieve financial freedom through property. And tonight, we are privileged to be hearing from Grace. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Grace.
Hello everyone. I'm one of the energetic speakers. I don't stand on one place, so forgive me, but happy to be here. Thanks to David and the committee for the invite. Some have seen me when we did the financial literacy session. It was again an amazing turnout. So I'm here to just talk about the same things, but I'll talk more about things that you can relate to. So I am the CEO of Eagle Life. We started Eagle Life close to 10 years ago now. And the reason why I really went into it was to bridge the cultural competency kind of things. You know, you walk into a mortgage broking firm, you probably, I get you when you talk about black tax. I get you when you talk about, you know, SUSU and some of those things. So that was the reason why we really wanted to go in there, help people like us navigate the Australian mortgage landscape. But I'll talk more about the story and the journey that I've walked. So through the business, we didn't set out to win awards. We really set out to really help people like myself. So I was my ideal client. I really wanted to help people like myself, but we've been #1 in Victoria and Tasmania in a male-dominated field, so it's been an honor. But what I just want to talk about today is really going back to what all the previous speakers have spoken about. I can speak for the next 15 minutes, but if you don't take action, nothing will change. So I came to Australia as an international student. I didn't know anyone. It only dawned on me, I had just finished high school. So it only dawned on me when I landed at Melbourne Airport that what have I done? Because I didn't even know a next door neighbor. You know, someone you know back home when you are sent overseas, they would say, oh, there's so and so, you know, who lives next door. They will pick you from the airport. But the situation was different to me. I had no neighbor. I was picked by the international house. And at the airport, that's where I also realized that I only, the money that I had, I think my parents had given me 50 pounds and 20 US dollars. So remember they had paid the school fees. So that's all that was there to spare. So, you know, things were tough as an international student. I think it was, it was part of some of the training, part of the journey that some people here might have walked as well. But we went into starting Eagle Life because my husband and I were got into property investments. And what I just want to show you is it's not complicated. It's very, very simple. It's not about what you earn, it's about what you do with what you earn. Because I've seen a lot of high net worth clients who earn a lot of money but are up to their eyeballs in debt. But I've also helped single moms build up to four property portfolio, 4 house property portfolio on a single income. So it's never about how much you earn, it's about what you do with what you earn. So what am I saying today? What I'm saying is the property is regarded in Australia as the Australian dream. And I have met a lot of self-funded retirees, and I've always asked the question, and I always ask, how have you funded your retirement? And I can tell you almost every single one of them have said through property investment. My husband and I, we didn't start a long time ago, but we started around 2011, but we've managed to build a $7 million property portfolio from the $20 that I arrived with at the Melbourne airport. So what that shows you is it's doable, it's not complicated, it's being able to set the right loan structures in place, it's putting the right strategy in place, like what Anne was saying, really mapping where you are right now and where you want to be in 5 and 10 years. And we've helped hundreds of clients, some whose properties have doubled, tripled in value. So we do home loans and we do loans in super, so superannuation, those who want to invest through their super. But what we've realized, even looking at the data, is that the Australian property market doubles every 7 to 10 years. And this is true even during those times where we had the global financial crisis in 2008. So between 2006 and 2016, 55% of Melbourne's suburbs doubled in value. And we're not talking about those that grew 90%, those that grew 80%. So what that means is, and about 44% of Sydney suburbs doubled in value. So what that means is, you can be able to get in from where you can afford, and I'm a big believer in getting into the market from where you can afford, and the easiest to start is to buy your first home. Because when you buy your first home, you utilize all the government's grants, like we've got the Australian Deposit Scheme, we've got the First Homeowners Grant, we've got the stamp duty waivers up to 600,000 here in Victoria. So utilize that as an entry into the market. And one mistake that I've seen a lot of Africans like myself would want to do is they always want to make the first house the dream home. Don't make the first one the dream home. Because when you make it the dream home, you probably buy $1.5 million house, which what that means is that ties up all your money into one asset. What you want to be able to do is to get into the market at the cheapest possible option that you can get in, buy a house that you can afford to pay without, choking, without the mortgage choking you, and don't use all your borrowing power, because if you buy a 1.5 million or $2.5 million home, you're probably gonna tie all your borrowing power in the one asset. Then you get in and then you start working up, getting the next one and the next one and the next one. I think I've got a slide somewhere with a four property strategy somewhere. Yes, that one. No, the one before. Yes, that one. No, that one. So that one just shows you the power of leverage and the power of compounding. So we are lucky here in Australia, we can be able to get money from the bank, so use the bank's money to build wealth. So the power of leverage means we're just using the bank's money. And so on that graph there, I've got the first property, you purchase the first property, probably that one, you purchase it as your first home, you get in the market, so let's say you kept it at 600,000, you use 30,000 as your deposit, nothing more to pay, and then after a couple of years, you pull out equity from the first property, you buy the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. And you can see on that strategy that we are paying interest only on all the 4 loans. What that means is we are not paying the principal, we are paying interest only because we are building wealth. And at the end, what you can see there, after 15 years, you have net equity of about 3 million without actually paying any principal on the amount. So it's I don't want to overcomplicate it, but it's very easy to do, starting from where you can afford and having the right structures in place and having the right property strategy in place as to where we are starting and where we want to eventually get to. And then when I was talking about the power of compounding, remember the compound interest that Rona was talking about, the same happens. And we're having the market that's growing at an average of 7.2% annually. But we've also had areas, and 7.2 is just the average national growth rate. But if you have looked in the last 3 years, Western Australia, Queensland, and Adelaide have been growing double digits. We purchased a property in Western Australia in 2024 in June. By the time we signed the contract in June, it settled in September, it had already gone up in value 100,000. And that property 2 years later has increased in value close to 300,000. So you can never save your way to wealth, but you can invest your way to wealth. So it's just about having the right strategies in place, having the right understanding of what you're doing, and then taking the necessary step to do that. I just need another slide. I think deck. Yeah, that one. So that one shows you the difference between the power of leverage and compounding that I was talking about. If you were to put 100,000 in the bank today as cash, or using that 100,000 to purchase a property. So by using the 100,000 to purchase the property, you probably have another 500,000 that you've borrowed from the bank that's working for you. So you are no longer just, if the market grows 9%, remember you are no longer just growing the 100,000. You are now growing 600,000, including the 500 you borrowed from the bank. So in simpler terms, that's the power of leverage and compounding that we're talking about. And what that means, if the 100 sits in the bank, in year 20 it will be worth around 400. But if you have the property working for you, it will be worth about 2 million. And that's really at a very, very conservative growth rate. So the power of leverage is the powerful tool. And I often get people ask me, because we have had clients, so we buy property in super as well, using your super. And all the clients that we have helped, I am yet to see one client whose superannuation has grown above their employer super contributions. Go and check that on your super statements. So apart from what you have contributed, there is extra. Go and check your super statement. Most majority of people that I have met, their super is just at par at whatever the employer has contributed. But when you buy property in super, using what they call a self-managed super fund, we go back now to the power of leverage. Remember, you've got your 200,000 today in super. If it grows at 9% or 10%, you're only growing the 200. But we take the 200, we put it in a property, and we borrow, let's say, another 500. So now we have 700 working for us. If 700 grows in value, we are making more. So every year, if that 700 grows at 10%, that's 70,000 that's going into your super that you didn't have to work hard for. So it's not rocket science, it's just working smarter instead of harder. And we have clients who doubled their super during the pandemic. You know, when all the banks and all the 4 banks came out and said, oh, the market is going to drop 30%, 40%, the property market grew 21%. And we have clients who literally doubled their super in a very short period of time. So remember, your superannuation is still your money. Yes, you don't have access to it until you transition into retirement, but remember, that's part of your planning for retirement. It's still your money, so you need to actively know what is happening in your super and making sure that you are growing your superannuation money as well. So, with a $7 million portfolio, if it grows 10% per year, how much have we made? How much did we make? 700,000, right? So property is like a business, and that's exactly how the ATO treats it. Investing in property is like a business. So everything to do with your investment property is tax deductible. So your owner's rates, your owner's property management expenses, landlord insurance, everything to do with that property is tax deductible. So what that means for you is, yes, you're building wealth, and I've got another graph there that shows you who pays for your investment property. I don't know if you can find it, it's back somewhere. That one, yes, that one. So this shows you who pays for your investment property, because the other question I get is, oh, you know, it means I've got a second mortgage or a third mortgage, how am I going to manage? So if you look at that first one, this is, if someone earns 120,000 per annum, we are working with, I think that's 6% interest there. You've got a mortgage and investment property, which you're paying 6% per annum. 73% of that mortgage is actually getting paid by the tenant. And about 22% is paid by the taxman. And why do I say by the taxman? Remember, I said everything to do with that investment property is tax deductible. So at the end of the financial year, you collect all your expenses, and that offsets your taxable income. So if you are on the highest tax bracket, which is 45%, it means that for every dollar you earn, you're giving away 45 cents to the taxman. So if you do not have any investment property, so forget about the wealth building, you're just giving too much money to the taxman unnecessarily. Then look at the portion that you pay. So you pay the difference. What's that? It's probably 8% or whatever that, or 5% is paid by you. So you are holding, in other words, you are holding an asset which someone else is paying for, but which is building enough wealth for you to eventually get out of debt, because remember, you can eventually sell some properties and pay off some, and also to eventually retire financially free. So when we're talking about the financial freedom, this is how you do it. And then the higher income that you get, the less that you pay on the property, because remember, you claim more to the taxman. So someone earning about 200,000 there, majority is getting paid by the taxman and by the tenant. And similarly, if you're on a dual income. So that just shows you that it's about working smarter, not harder. And we also have been doing a session on how to pay off your mortgage in less than 10 years. And the strategy that we employ for our investors is to get them to buy investment properties which are working in the background for them. So let's say we purchase 2 properties today worth 600,000 each. One for me to live in, the other one an investment property. They all double in value in 10 years. I can sell one and pay off the other. But I was not the one who was paying for that investment property. It was the taxman and the tenant. So I hope this resonates with you guys, but it's not rocket science. It's so simple. It's just about working smarter. The system, the Australian system favors the investor and the businessman. So it's either you are running a property business or you've got a real business, or otherwise you pay too much tax to the taxman. And I'll finish by saying, when our president, when everyone was expecting Robert Mugabe, our president, to step down, he came on TV that night and he said something entirely different, and he finished by saying, Asante sana.
Thank you, precious. Asante sana. And to finish up tonight, we have from Savo Group, Martha Inuma, if she is around. Martha? Yes. Welcome, Martha.
For those who speak Swahili, I can take the risk and launch whistles and arrive here and you do not clap for me. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for taking time to be here with us. I'll say with us because we have been, God has been merciful enough to allow us to host this dinner, and He has given us the financial capacity to pay very expensive dollars to have you here. Thank you for taking time off to come and be with us here. I know you could be at home with your families, you could be celebrating Easter, you could be working, but you've chosen to be here. Thank you. My name is Martha Inuma. I am a fire ambassador. When we talk about fire ambassador, we mean financial independence, retire early. And this is a very relevant conversation. I'm glad that we are able to have different conversations here and really talk about wealth in different aspects, whether it's investing, whether it's taking care of what you're getting every month, whether it's where you're putting your money, be it at home in Kenya or here, but it's an important conversation for us to have. I head the marketing team at Savo, and Savo has been here for 11 years. When I stop, you clap. Savo has been here for 11 years. And I hope that as I stand here in this room, nobody thinks that I'm taking you to see elephants. Are we all aware that Savo is not about animals? We are aware. So yes, 11 years ago, I would step in a room. Oh dear, we have a park in Kenya called Savo National Park, and they are big elephants, but we do not deal with them. 11 years ago, I would step into a room, a very small girl. For those who had seen me, or you can go to the YouTube, please don't laugh. Anyway, in those very many years, we would go into a room, and I say Savo, and everyone is thinking, why is a tour company coming to pitch for me in my office and tell me that I need to go to Savo National Park? But over the years, we have been able to stand out as a brand that enables investors to achieve financial independence And we can confidently say that we do not do elephants, but we do affordable, amazing apartments that eventually get you to financial independence. That financial independence can then take you to the bank if you've never seen an elephant. So the cash flow can facilitate your lifestyle, whatever you like doing, your purpose, everything. But as I stand here, I stand to represent a brand that allows you to earn while you sleep. So there's something interesting that Warren Buffett says. I don't know, anyone who knows Warren Buffett? We all do, right? If you don't find a way to earn while you sleep, you will work until you die. And that is bad. People don't like talking about them. If you're given an opportunity today to, get $1 million and then die tomorrow, how many of us will pick the $1 million today and you die tomorrow, guaranteed? So you have 24 hours. You take $1 million today and you die tomorrow. How many of us will take that offer? It's very difficult, right? Because life is actually the real game. That's true, right? But you can choose to live as you wish. You can choose to work until you die. And the day you die, nobody will remember what you have built. Kazi zile umefanya, mtu mwingine ataendelea kuzifanya. Sawa? So if you don't find a way to earn while you sleep, by the way, you will have to work until you die. Because if you're being paid to show up at work, then if you can't show up, you can't be paid. If today you're here and your job requires you to be paid by your presence there, for sure today you're not being paid. So, and so as we're looking at financial wealth, and we're looking at financial health, we're looking at investment opportunities, my hope is that as you're engaging with this brand called Savo, engage deeply. Let's have difficult conversations. Let me ask you where your money goes. You figure out what are these bad habits that you need to stop, what are these good habits that you need to start to enable you to eventually become financially independent. Now, I would like to quickly go through, I don't know, my dear man, Isaac. Aki nimekuita my dear. Yes. Maybe you can take us through the slide very quickly. Savo, as I said, has been in the industry for 11 years, and we were lucky enough that Savo is owned by Kenyans, husband and wife, Emily Mcharo and Leonard Mcharo. Emily Mcharo is a chartered financial analyst, so she's been in the industry in the banking industry for about 20 years. And Leonard Mcharo is the architect. I don't know if any of us remembers anything back home. Have you ever had the Boma Hotel? The Boma Hotel? So Mcharo is the one who designed the Boma Hotel. When you're on Lenana Road in Kilimani, there is an Arabic building, FCB Mihran. Anyone who's seen that? It's like a carved Dubai building. He's the one who did that. So he's done a lot of architectural work, and they came together and started Savo. But why? I think at the heart of Savo is financial independence. And we define it very specifically, that you have sufficient assets to generate for you sufficient passive monthly cash flow to enable you achieve your purpose, finance your lifestyle, do what you desire. That at one point you're able to sit back and say, I am able to participate in things that will not pay me. That I'm doing this daily job and I can find satisfaction in it without being paid. But you can only get to that level of actually achieving your purpose when you're financially independent. It's very difficult that you're trying to do a purpose and you have no money. You won't even have food in your stomach, so how will you run the purpose? You'll be too hungry to stand. And so that's how Savo started. That we knew there's specific problems that everyone in the world has. Doesn't matter whether you're a Kenyan, whether you're from the rich, whether you're from wherever background you're from, there are three major problems that everyone has. And once we are able to touch on these three problems and offer concrete solutions, we are then able to influence people towards financial independence. But before we tackle those three problems, we have to hit the nail on the head. That if we are not fighting consumerism, as a culture, as people, as Kenyans, at no given point will we ever get out of the rashes. If we are not fighting consumerism, you will never get out of the rashes. And it's in the little things. It's in the little things that say, by the way, I've started earning a little bit more. Okay, can't you invest more? Because your lifestyle can forever expand. I usually like using myself as an example. When I started working, Savo is a very interesting company. I got into the company and Charo told me, this is the best paying company in the world. Best. The day I was 19 years, this is the best paid company in the world. And I knew, nimefika. While I was in the interview, I decided, let me pitch my salary. But I went, no, that's what we don't discuss here. Don't worry. I've told you it's the best paid company in the world. Don't worry, we don't need to discuss salary. Okay, I knew. By the end of the month, I am seeing a fat figure. End month, where is the figure? It's not there. 15th August, the figure came. It came on your pesa. You know, for you to be paid on the pesa, you're not being paid tax. It was 10,000. I almost died. And so I went to, I cannot even survive on that 10,000. And so, of course now, over the years, because that was my first year, I was still in campus, so this was sort of like just, like a side hustle that you're doing. And eventually my salary started increasing. When I was paid that 10,000, that month, I paid rent somewhere. I ate, no matter how bad I ate, clearly, I'm still alive. I was able to survive, move around, go to work, and still finish the month. Then at some point, my salary jumped to 30,000. And by the way, I could eat, survive, but it was too little. I started 10K, then 15K, but this 30,000, I do shit. Every month I am in a cycle. Then it jumped. And I said, it could never be enough. But the thing is, until you're able to realize that you can actually survive at a certain percentage, and honestly figure out what that percentage is for you. Everyone has different responsibilities. Figure out what that percentage is. And then start working towards it. You have a responsibility of black tax. Find a permanent solution. You sending money home is not the solution. The day you lose your life here, nobody will support you back at home. I mean, we cannot afford the Australian dollars you guys use here. I cannot give you the life you are used to. So it will be very difficult to support you. So operate knowing that you need a permanent solution to every cost in your life. And therefore, if you are able to create mechanisms at the back to ensure that all the other costs can be sorted to allow you to invest, please do that. That if you need to support someone, by the way, open for them a business. Hold people accountable. Let me give you a business, you decide. You want to sleep hungry? You have the business. You can close shop. If you throw down the business, you have the shop. You can decide what you want to do. Then you work on yourself so that eventually you're able to influence other people to become financially independent. Now, when you're talking about finance, it's very important for you to understand that wherever you are, the circle that you're keeping yourself in really influences who you are. That if you're not comfortable enough to talk about wealth, that if you're not comfortable enough to talk about how you've made money, how you've lost money, all the decisions that you've done around money, you will never grow. Because you come here, you get a lot of knowledge, you get to understand financial independence, you get to actually ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to change? Then you go home, because you do not want to talk about it, you will be filled with foolishness of those who did not hear. Then you came out of here with a full cup, you go home, you have 3/4 of garbage. So ensure that you are acting on your own financial independence journey. But talk. Let's be the different generation that will build this country of ours. Talk, engage, find out, by the way, how comes these people have invested? And I'm very happy. Today I look around, I see the people who've invested with us. I think if you need to know something, by the way, I show you, go talk to him. He's in the house, he's seen the investment. Talk to anyone who's invested with us, so that by the time you're coming in, you've really understood what are you trying to get yourself to, right? Now, about Savo, we realized 3 big problems across the world. 3 major problems, including Warren Buffett, including all the rich people you know, have 3 major problems. Everyone is looking for accessible financing, so people need to invest, but they need to be able to access ways of investing. Whether you want to do a business, whether you want to do an investment, you need to access financing to enable you start whatever you need to start. So accessible financing is a big problem. And it's a big problem for those earning $1,000, it's a big problem for those earning $1 million. It's a problem for everyone. Affordable investment is a huge factor. When real estate started in Kenya, it was for the who's. Not everyone could build. Even right now, it's a bit difficult. Land is quite expensive. Even here, land is quite expensive. So the people who can build are the few who can access more accessible financing to buy the land. So affordable investment is a huge factor, and it's a bigger factor back home. Because how many people have $1 million lying in the bank? A few of us maybe, but I mean it has a balance. So affordable investments was a big deal for us. And the third thing was financial security, that you know money is working for you. Because everyone is in a race, but you don't know when that path will come. It could be health, it could be family, it could be an opportunity, yeah? It could be a lost opportunity, lost income, lost jobs, all possible things. And by the way, if it is happening to someone, it can also happen to you. Nobody is special. So, one day, you might be working, and your cash cow decides to go. The next day, you might be working, till you fall sick. Or your family members become sick. Or you find someone who is dependent on you. So life changes. And financial security is a huge problem that everyone needs to know. I am secure. My future is secure. So when we were looking at those three things, we realized for us to be able to offer financial security, we needed to design a model that allows you to have that safety. A model that gives you a guaranteed return. A model that gives you consistent passive income. Remember, financial independence will not be found from your daily job. And the day you know is the day you do not go to work, then you'll know. So financial independence is not from your daily job. Right? But if you have passive cash flow, then financial security for you becomes a safer spot. Because you know money will still come. And so we realized for us to be able to solve financial security for you as an investor, we needed to design a model that allows us to manage for you. By the time we finish the building, we send you rent by the time. My hope is that even as we go through this Australia trip and as we keep coming, for the people who are already earning, please tell the story. Show that this thing is actually real. So, the other problem was affordable investments. I think everyone has access to a brochure on the table. When we say affordable investments, we mean you can earn something from, you can own something from as little as $380 a month. 380 Australian dollars, that's 35,000. My dear Susie, let me put you on the lights. I was talking to Susie, and she said, this is so good, it's too good to be true. By the way, it's the truth. Ndio karatasi, it's the truth. So if you do not understand Kenya shillings, just do 35,000 divided by 100. That's your monthly income. So we've made it so accessible that even those who are starting out are able to have something. So we've tried to make it as affordable as possible. But over and above that, we've removed the deposit. So you don't need a deposit. You have a 5-year payment plan. You can pay slowly. The days you can pay more, we encourage you to pay more. But you have up to 5 years to pay. My hope is that you run, because if you give me your house for 5 years, it's too long. And I don't want you to pay for 5 years. It's too long. But you have an opportunity to start slowly. So that saves on affordable investments. Then people need accessible financing. So we have multiple options. There are people who might have cash lying somewhere. Please, if you have the money, we have space in the bank. I promise you, we'll pay you to receive receipts. So if you have money lying somewhere, you can just pay me in cash. That is not your problem, that can solve it. But accessible financing is a big problem. That if you don't have money lying somewhere in the bank, you need to be able to still be able to invest in these properties. And that's why we have the payment plan. So you have a flexible payment plan. I do not want to embarrass myself, but I have a very big voice. Thank you. So with the payment plan, we okay? Yeah. So with the payment plan, then it allows you to start. And so when we start all these three problems that affect everyone seated here, everyone who needs to invest, then you're able to see where your solution fits, right? I'll quickly go through, I don't know if we can all see, but I'll quickly go through what we do exactly. So we get data for our location because it's a one-stop shop. So based on that data, we're able to design, sell, build, and manage. So based on that data, that gives you a guarantee that we know the kind of tenant we are targeting, we know the person we are targeting to stay there, we know the area and the need for that particular area. By the time I've finished a project, I know for sure you will have income coming. So we design, we sell, We build and we manage. So after construction, we'll get your tenant, collect your rent, we'll take your rent. Can go to the next slide. It's been over 10 years, as I had said. So this is our 11th year. We have 25 projects, 24 in Nairobi and the 25th in Eldoret. We have over 6,000 happy investors. We call them Savorites. We have over 3,700 residents. So these are people who reside with us. I think that's the biggest number being resided in Kenya by one company. We have over 95% occupancy. Of course, people move in, move out. That's the kind of lifestyle we offer. So we have the building side and we also have the tenancy side that is very vibrant. It's an amazing experience if you come and see any of our buildings. We have over 200 of us who are internal Savorites who work for us. So everything is done internally. We have architects, engineers, designers, everything, sellers, accountants, everything is in-house. So we have over 200 Savorites. We educate children back home. So needy students who are from needy backgrounds but are extremely bright. So we have over 600 students that we're educating, and it's very important. Even as we do these programs, education is a key factor to how someone eventually turns into. So if people have access to knowledge, they have a better chance at life. So we have over 600 students we educate. We have over 1,300 people we have employed on our sites. So in terms of just the kind of opportunities that we've given to Kenyans is massive. These are some of our projects that we've done. If you've been to Nairobi, this is close to Junction Mall. It's a very popular building to the young people. That is the city. That's in Roysambu. We have 5 acres, so we've done a city. We call it Royal City. If you're from Kenya, Roysambu was called initially Royal Suburbs. We could just not spell it correctly. That's why it's called Roysambu. But it's Royal Suburbs. So that's Royal Suburbs. It's right behind TRF. These are other buildings we've done. That's on Kiambu Road. It's called Savo Stanley. That's in Pindigwa, Kiambu Road, and that's where our offices are. It's called Savo Sunset. So you can see, depending on how good the area is, we're able to do multiple phases to fill the demand. So that's one. And that is in Eldoret, Savo Pioneer, what we're currently selling. But that's pretty much it. So I hope this has been a fulfilling session. I hope it has touched you where it should touch you. I hope you can act Kamale. You talked about action. Yeah, the only difference between you yesterday or you a few minutes ago and now is to act on it. I would request for a few minutes. I'd like Marvin, you can come and say something as our investor. Jones, you can come and say something as our investor. Rose, hey, nakwambia, wajua majina ni mzuri sana. Rose Juma, you can come and say something as our investor.
Hey guys, my name is Marvin, and invested at one of the upcoming apartments in Parklands. I know I've been there, they're not lying guys, so I know some of us who've been hustled before, so I know Shamba issues and all that, your money is old. So at least it's good to see a company that actually delivers on what they're saying. So I was there just a few months ago, and there was another project in Karen, but I don't know if I think they parked it for now. But I guess Eldoret is a new place, so yeah, if you go in there, man, and check it out, because otherwise time is, is our enemy at the moment. So if you got a chance to live here and invest back home, and say, hey, retirement at home. So anyway, that's it for me, guys.
Thanks, Marvin. Thank you, Martha. I am told it is time for dinner. You guys hungry?
Do you want to believe? Watch what I get. For free. But thank you so much. We hope to engage further. Yes, we would like to take for dinner so that you do not get angry at us.
Thank you. All right. Let's give our hand. Okay, there is food to be had, and so that means that we'll be back at 9 for the Q&A session, so that we can have our panelists once they've had something to eat and they have more energy to answer all our questions. And you guys come back with questions, because we're gonna have a conversation, really, and try and break down some of those high-level things that we've heard about tonight. If there's a queue and you want to maybe grab that opportunity to go and maybe sign something or ask a question, please feel free. But yes, it's dinner time, bon appetit, and see you back at 9 o'clock. Thank you. We have in our midst one of us who's authored a book, and the book is here tonight, and the author is here tonight. And so, I am privileged to introduce Grace. Grace, please talk to us.
Thank you. I'm here with all my nerves because I am a TikToker, not a public speaker, but I'll try my best. Moments like this make me wonder why I wrote a book. I didn't think I would be speaking in such platforms, but how is everyone doing today?
Very good.
So my name is Grace Mururu, as it has been mentioned. I am a mother, a content creator, a DIY person, and a nurse. And in between juggling all that, I decided to add another another crown on top of it, and so now I'm officially a published author. My book, Beyond Survival, just published this month, last month actually, the 10th of March, and it's pretty much about an immigrant's journey away from home. So this is my story, this is your story, and everyone's story in this room. The reason I wrote this book is because of the struggles that we go through as immigrants, the sacrifices that we put in, and the challenges that we face trying to maneuver this journey. Unfortunately, not many people know what we go through to get to where we are right now. My first chapter in the book is the dream sold versus the reality. What we see on social media is just the beautiful people dressed up, flashy cars, beautiful buildings, but we don't see the struggle behind it. When we're in our scrubs, when we are there being assaulted by clients, when we're doing all the odd jobs, struggling with mental health challenges, especially new people who are trying to maneuver life here overseas. And that's the reason I wrote this book, to inspire, to motivate, and to let everyone who has just started their journey overseas or is in their journey overseas know that you're not alone. We have done this before. We are still in the journey. We have challenges with every season, but whenever you feel like you're struggling, speak up. Because as a community, if someone is struggling, we will all struggle eventually as a community. But if we work together as a community without leaving anyone behind, then we excel as a community. So this book has different chapters, and most of you will resonate with maybe 6, 7, 20, or even all the chapters. So if you want to purchase a book, it's available on Amazon, delivered worldwide, so you can encourage even your family members back home to buy them, because we also have the chapter of being the support back home, and people don't know what we go through, but they expect us to send money, and that has been mentioned here before. So we have copies there. If you want a signed copy, please feel free to come and buy a book and enjoy, recommend, and feel free to leave a review. Thank you. At least I didn't collapse on stage.
Thanks, Grace. You did well. Let's give her another hand. Yeah. Writing a book is no small feat, so you're gonna get Grace's most distilled thoughts in there. So yeah, cool. Awesome. Now we're gonna go into a time of Q&A. So I'm gonna request our subject matter experts, panelists, and gracious. Whoever gets the first question gets a microphone. Who's it gonna be? Yes, there's a question. Could you please hold this?
Hi everyone, my name is Eva. I have a question for Rona. I wasn't here when you did your talk. Is it possible to just give a 2-second explanation of the bonds and what you do? Just to.
I'll stand. If I stand, you'll hear me better. Thank you, Eva, for your question. And thank you for making the time to come. I'd explained what a treasury bond is earlier. So it's basically an investment, let's call it a solution, whereby the government of Kenya, or not just the government of Kenya, but a company that sometimes maybe it's one that's listed on the Securities Exchange, for example, they're trying to raise money to do something. I like to use the government because it's the easiest explanation. Like I gave an example here earlier, assuming the government wants to build a road from Nairobi to Isiolo. They need 20 billion for that. They don't have 20 billion. So they come to us, wananchi, and tell us, give us your money so that you can be able to build this road, and then we'll give you back your money in say 10 years or 15 years, just as an example. But in those 15 years, I'll pay you interest twice a year. In June, you get a credit of interest into your NCB account. In December, you get an interest deposit into your account, okay? So to go on for the tenor of the bond. Now, a bond that, some bonds that are floated by the government are called infrastructure bonds. And if you see an infrastructure bond, IFB in short, it means that it is tax-free, okay? So whenever you're shopping for a bond, some things or some tips to look at is it an IFB? Is it been floated by the government? Has it been floated by a private organization? Why is a private organization, for example, floating a bond? What is it that they want to do? And then based on that, then you can make a decision. Now, a bond is a long-term investment. Bonds vary, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20, 30, even up to 40 years, right? So it's a long-term investment. So you push your money there, it means you've kept it and so. Now, a treasury bill is a short-term investment, okay? So it can be 3 months, 6 months, up to a year. Now, that's the major difference between a bill and a bond. Now, a bill, again, the central bank takes your money and invests it in different investment vehicles. So it can be in a fixed deposit, it can be in very different investment solutions. Then they pay you interest within that component of that year. And then when the year is over, you can get back your money. Have I answered your question? Great. So if you're interested in investing in a bond or a bill, for example, you will be required to have what we call a CDS account with central bank. Now, to open that CDS account, you download their app. It's called CDS DAO, DAO like DHOW, you know, DAO in Lamu, DAO. You download that. However, when you download that, you'll be required to put an account that you have in Kenya. So you start with opening an account with NCBA, then go and download the CDS DAO account. So when you're putting down your information, you're including your account number into that app. Now, when you finally invest in the bond or bill, your interest will be paid into NCBA. Because remember, you've indicated the account number there. So that's how, in a nutshell, that's how it works. Question answered?
Can you have more than 2 brokers?
Yes, you can have more than 2 brokers. That's okay. Yeah. Any other?
Hi, Rona. So my question is to yourself, and just like Eva, I wasn't here, unfortunately, when you were doing your presentation, so please excuse me if I ask a question that was covered during the presentation, but I think it's of value if you could let us know about this question that I'm about to ask. One of the reasons why I would go to a bank to borrow money to be able to buy a property, for example, is because the bank will do a due diligence as part of the approval process for a loan, for example. And I know that's one of the benefits of borrowing through a bank. I'll still do my own due diligence, but that added extra comfort that you also do a due diligence as part of the approval process. So I just wanted to ask you the question specifically for NCBA, the process that you go through to do the due diligence about the ownership of the property, the title and all that, how foolproof is it? Because we still hear stories, horror stories of people who bought property and then it turns out that the title was fake or whatever it is. So if you could just briefly speak about that. And then my second question is to the mortgage broker. Sorry, I forgot your name. I think it's Gracious. You talked a lot about mortgages and also about investments, buying property and how you're able to multiply the property into, like, for example, the 7 million that you talked about. So is your company in mortgage financing or is it in investment advice, for example, that sort of thing? All right, thank you.
Can you hear me? Okay, great. Paul, thank you for your question. It's a very, very, very important question. Now, when you invest, okay, I like to use examples because I think it makes it easier to understand. So let's make an assumption you want to buy a piece of land, okay? A quarter acre of land in Konza, okay? Now, you're based here. First, do you even know where Konza is? Martha came and told you, I'm just using Martha as an example again. Martha came and told you she's selling land in Konza, right? And it's a quarter acre of land, and by the way, it's by the road. Or did I even tell you that it's by the road and SGR is over here passing here? You know those stories, isn't it? But how do you validate some of these things? Now, I use land because land is the most sensitive asset that a lot of people have been called when they're trying to buy. Okay, so why it's important to go through a bank when you're buying an asset like land is because one of the things that you do in the process is something called a valuation. Now, a valuation is to tell us a couple of things, okay? First thing it will tell us is, the seller told you the piece of land in Konza is going for 3 million shillings, okay? Is this person legit? Is it really 3 million? Is it 1.5 million? Or is it 7 million? So that then, when that 3 million is being extended to the seller of the land, it is actually the value of that land. Now, the valuation is done to check the value. Is it really 3 million shillings? Now, when a valuation is done, and for example, the valuation comes at 1.5 million shillings, right? We come and tell you, we did a valuation, and it's not the 3 million you are told, it's actually 1.5 million. So if we are financing you, we are financing 1.5, we're not financing 3 million. So up to that? Okay. Let's make another assumption. You come with a sale agreement, it's reading 3 million shillings. We go to site, we do a valuation. The valuation comes 5 million shillings. Okay? We will not finance you 5 million, we will finance you 3 million. Do you get what I mean? You okay up to that? So that's one thing the valuation does. The second thing the valuation does, it verifies. That guy who told you it's by the road, SGR, all those stories, so the valuation basically clarifies if that's really the case. Okay? If it's by, I know a couple of mistakes that have happened is when you buy a piece of land or a property that is, for example, by riparian land. You guys have heard about riparian land, eh? Right? Riparian land is, for example, your house is here, you're buying this house here, and then there's like a river here. Okay? Or over here, or over here. And it's been raining a lot in Kenya, senior. So, what is the repercussion? Is that when it rains, your house, plus your car, plus gone with the wind. Gone, you find your house in Malindi. True? And it's financed by NCBA. So, to mitigate those kind of problems, the valuation again is able to give you those kind of answers. Is this property or is this piece of land, okay, is it good for business? Let me say that. Is it really good for business? And when a bank tells you, we can't finance that, but they believe us. I'll give an example. I'll not say where, but somewhere in Nairobi, there is blocks of apartments belonging to some developers. So I think there are like 4. But the 4th one is by riparian land. So block 1, block 2, block 3 are okay. Block 4, there's a situation happening there. So the NCBA will not touch that whole project. Whether you say I want an apartment in block 1 or me, I'm not on block 4, that's your story. NCBA is just simply telling you, we will not touch it. Why? Because that compromise there speaks to the rest of the project. Do you understand what I mean? Paul, I think I've answered your question. Any other question around that? Where's the mic? There's a question.
Yeah.
My name is Michael. You've talked of like the due diligence research buys. So does the NCB bank pay for the research that you're doing, or rather for the due diligence, or is the customer?
Super question. Yeah. That is a cost to the customer. Now let me go to cost. When we use land as an example, you want to purchase that quarter piece of land in Konza. So this cost you will incur to ownership of that land. Okay? If we are financing you to buy that land, we'll finance you 70%. You will put down 30%. Put down means you'll pay the seller 30%. 1. 2, you will incur a cost called facility fee, which is a one-off cost, right? That is the fee that goes to the bank. It's 1% of the mortgage value. Okay, what we are financing, 1%. So that amount needs to be sitting in an NCB account. So the time comes to us to collect, we just collect. But we don't collect, don't let you know, we let you know. Then the next cost you'll incur is the valuation, what you're talking about. Now valuation varies, okay? So valuation varies depending on, say for example, size of the land, say for example, where the property is. It could be in Runda, right? The cost of doing a valuation in Runda compared to cost of valuation in Go, for example, that will vary. But again, we will let you know what the valuation cost will be. Now, the kicker is you're not going to look for the valuer yourself. NCBA has a panel of valuers. We have vetted them, okay? We're in we've signed what you call service level agreements with them. So we send you a list, you pick a valuer. You call them, negotiate, whatever you agree on the cost, you pay them. Okay? So valuation. So we've paid facility fee, we've paid valuation, and lastly, the conveyancing cost, which is the legal fees. So NCBA again has a panel of lawyers. You not bring your own lawyer. You have a panel, you pick one from the panel, you agree on a cost, and you pay them, and we carry on. Why do we have panels of valuers, panels of lawyers? Is because, again, we don't want your process to be compromised, right? We want to be in control as much as you want to be in control. So we want to deal with a legal firm that we are in agreement with, or a valuer that we're in agreement with. And a valuer that we have told them, you have to work with X, Y, and Z. These are the parameters of operation when you're working with NCBA for your interest. Have I answered your question? Good. Any other before I pass the mic?
Yes. Would you mind expounding on the interest rates that you have on the MMFs, maybe, and the risk and the assets that you invest in?
Okay, good. So money market, you've asked about the rate, right? Currently, it's, let me use the word tiptoeing around 7-8% at NCBA. Okay. Now your second part was what? Sorry. Okay, good. So the assets, when it comes to money market, well, all money markets invest, the bank invests the money in different fixed deposits or in the treasury bonds that I talked about. So it's just more secure, secure investment vehicles that give a better return. When I say secure, it means it is an investment that you're guaranteed you will get your return. 1. It is an investment that will not touch on your principal amount. There's some investments where you put money, yes, it's earning you interest, but if those interests begin to drop, it will eventually touch on your principal amount. So that 100K you put, right? Sometimes if the rates go down or they're just, or they're irregular, it may touch on your principal. Now, money market doesn't touch on your principal. You put in your 100K, you get your principal amount 100K. What matters is the rate that we will use, which is 7-8%, and where the money is put is what you're asking. Where is my money put? So money market is basically all of us in this room. You each give NCBA your 100,000 shillings. We take it, all of it, and go now and invest. Either we invest in a treasury bond, either we invest in other money markets, but that is what it is. Answer the question? Oh, good.
Any other before I? Yes, Victor. Hey, Victor, tell me.
So I have 2 questions. Yeah.
Okay, Victor, you're like a doctor. Well, carry on. I'm afraid.
Okay, so my first one is, what is the turnaround time for construction loans from the application of it to the final disbursement of it?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Can I answer that before you ask a second one? Because that's a bit long, yeah? I'll just say from start and then the features of the construction.
Okay.
So how do we know that you qualify for a loan first? We first start with your eligibility. Can I qualify for a loan at NCBA? And for us to check your eligibility, we check your pay stubs here, your pay slips here, your bank statements here where your salary is deposited, and your credit report from here, Experian, TransUnion, whichever. Those are the first 3 documents I'll ask you for. On the 3, I will then therefore be able to determine if you qualify for a loan. So let's assume Victor qualifies for a loan of 20 million shillings. So therefore, so therefore, you want to do a construction loan of say 12 million. Construction of a residential home, we finance 80%, you put down 20%. Putting down 20%, unlike he was asking about land, I told him he'll put down 30% to the seller of the land. Your 20% in construction is not putting down money, it's not giving NCBA your 20%. No, it is you going to your site and utilizing the 20%. What do I mean? You decide, for example, let me put a perimeter wall, let me dig a borehole, let me start the foundation. That's what it means.
Yeah.
So when you eventually come and evaluate if indeed your 20% has been utilized correctly, we will come as NCBA. I think I've skipped some steps, but I'll go back. We'll come in as NCBA and evaluate and say, okay, Victor has indeed put in his 20%. So now NCBA can come in and put the 80%. However, we don't give you the 80% here, go and do, or give your contractor 80%, go and do. No, we build in tranches, or rather we disburse in tranches. Okay? A residential home, the tenure of construction is 9 months. So within the 9 months, we will do the 80%, we'll do it in tranches. I think 3 or up to 4, up to a maximum of 4 tranches. So your contractor atakuja tuambie, okay, the foundation was done by Victor, now we want to do the structure. To do the structure, we need 7 million. We give him 7 million. He goes and does whatever he said he will do. Then we come and evaluate and see, we gave you 7 million. You said you will do X, you will do Y, you will do Z. So have you done X? Have you done Y? Have you done Z? Yes? No? Yes? Sawa. Sign a certificate so that then we disburse the next amount. If he has not done as per schedule, please bro, go and finish, then come back. So we're able to mitigate the contractor in that either his quality of works. We've agreed you're supposed to do this, so please do this. If he's not doing it, we come in and say you've not done. You need to do. Please do and finish. Once you do and finish, we'll come in. And remember, this person has the 9 months, so the better come through. Right? Have I answered your question?
Yeah, you have.
Okay. Question 2?
So what is the turnaround time for construction loans from the documentation submission
I didn't answer that, yeah.
to the issuance of the offer letter?
Okay, so I've told you you can qualify for 12 million, right?
Yeah.
So I send you the paperwork. Paperwork is the application form that you need to fill out. Your KYC documents, which I already have because you've opened an account, so your ID, KRA PIN, your proof of residence, which we have. And then now for construction, the documentation is more. We need the most important documents for, as a start is the bills of quantity, okay? Bills of quantity is important. It's important because it will help us determine if indeed the 80% you're financing you is commensurate with what your QS is saying. The challenge that a lot of people who do construction go through is that you don't know how a BQ, rather you don't know how to read a bill of quantity. You don't know, that's not your forte. So when your contractor gives you a bill of quantity, you bring it to the bank, over and above checking your eligibility, over and above filling out the application form. The other thing that we will do that's really important is to ensure that your bills of quantity will actually do your project from start to end. The challenge is normally you have a QS who says, I can do this, I have this, I got this. They do a BQ that's understated.
Or they do a BQ that's overstated. The most common is overstating. Overstating because hapo ndio anakulia, right? So NCBA will look at your BQ and take you back and take back to your QS and tell them they've understated. What's the risk of understating a BQ? Your project doesn't get finished. What's the risk of overstating? You're paying more than you should.
Yeah.
So NCBA, before you even go to site, those are the things that we look at. So if your BQ is okay, your drawings are okay, we've looked at that, you have your approvals from county, then we can proceed. So technically, between eligibility paperwork and knowing if you've qualified for a loan is two weeks, okay? Yeah, then from there, ideally, the process begins to take effect in terms of us doing by the time we're doing 2 weeks, we've done the BQ checks and everything. So we're telling you, we are doing this. That's 2 weeks. If there's any issues in between, we first come back to you and tell you this needs to be sorted out. After 2 weeks now, we now come to you and tell you, remember that 20%? You need to go to site and apply it. Once you apply it, call us and tell us I'm done with the 20%, come and evaluate, check if it's okay. If it's okay, then we step in and now do our 80%. Residential home is 9 months. So once the construction is done, the house is complete, it's good for occupation, that 9 months now converts to the life of a mortgage. So now you pay us with a mortgage repayment of up to 15 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hope I made some sense.
Yeah.
Have I answered you?
Yeah.
Good.
Paul, we're back to you.
So I tried listening to you, Gracious, when you're presenting, and there's a lot of investment advice that you provided in terms of, depending on where you buy the property, you could double the price, blah, 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 the value of the property and all that. But at the same time, you're talking about being a mortgage broker. So I got a bit confused whether it's about investment advice or it's about finance, mortgage financing and that kind of thing. So that, yeah, so if you could just clarify.
So, yeah, good question. So we are a mortgage broking business. We do mortgage finance, but we are also property investors. So our big clientele are actually property investors. So I think what we bring to the table is more we hold your hand, because we're not just telling you things in the book. We're actually telling you from an experience point of view.
Hi panel members, my name is Fuzzy, and my question is about advice towards young people in regards of investments as well, because I know for myself, whenever I think about saving and investments, I get pretty anxious because of I guess the state of the world right now, and being a first generation migrant and kind of the circumstances of my mom and dad. So what advice would you give to young people? And this is for all the panel members in regards of investments and saving and stuff like that.
I think for young people, the most important thing is just to live within your means. That's the first step. What I see a lot of young people do, or the mistake they do, is they get on the buy now, pay later schemes, Afterpay, Zip Pay, everything pay. What I can just say is if you can't afford it, don't buy it. I think that's the first discipline you will need to do before starting any savings.
Thank you so much. That's a beautiful question. And what I can say is start now. Start saving. Start with saving, because when you're younger, your income might be lower as compared to people who have been in the industry. But when you start small but consistently, I was talking about time. Time compounds. And the biggest asset that you have now as a young person is time. Because if you start now when you're younger, 20 years down the line, even though you start saving or investing, assuming you have 1,000 paid at the end of the fortnight, and you save just 10% of that, you are saving $100, and to not be $100 at the end of the year, it will be 100 multiplied by 52. So it will be like 5,200 at the end of the year. And another thing, if you can open, there's a compounding calculator that is in the website somewhere, and you can use that and see if I can put this amount, how much will it be in 10 years down the line, and it will now give you power, not only to do the small investment, it will give you the power to now be able to save for the other big investment like houses and all that. So start as soon as you can and start small at your own pace. Yes.
Thank you for that question. It's usually very interesting to have such conversations because I personally experienced financial awakening while young. I got into a company where financial freedom was and is still a very key element of Savo. There are very many things that you need to consider. First, as you start, please read. Expand your knowledge, invest in your mind, because it allows you a lot of freedom and you are able to make more informed decisions. Making a decision is not enough. You need to be able to make an informed decision. So read. There are very many books that talk about leadership, they talk about finance. Right now we're in the era of technology. You have access to so much on the internet that can allow you to sort of understand the market, understand bonds, understand shares, understand investing in the diaspora, understand expounding your investment from a different perspective, right? So as you study, because you're consuming, and give yourself a challenge, consume one new thing every day, just one. Every day you wake up, consume one new thing. And after whatever you're consuming, find a way to have it practical, right? That means that if you are looking, say, give or take, the lowest possible option you have is MMF, money market. If you're looking at money market, dare to start and say, what is the lowest I can put? Put it. The lowest amount possible. Put it. So tomorrow you sort of go and understand T-bills and bonds and read, apply. The other thing is ensure you are as least liquid as possible. Let me tell you, the more money you have, the more problems you attract. Not your personal problems. There is always a problem somewhere. There is always an emergency somewhere. And if you do not have that money, that emergency will disappear. Ensure you're as least liquid. Because you might sit here and tell yourself, as long as I am saving somewhere, you know, I have the habit of saving, I have this amount in my locked account. But eventually, if something happens, if you're really, really pushed, you'll make a decision to use that money. So ensure whatever needs to be invested in, let it be invested in. By the way, you will not die. If you can live on 1,000 a week, don't live past that. Money will never be enough, you will not die. Be the least liquid. That even when your village is burning, by the way, you cannot save. Because if you don't have money today, they will look for another source of income. It's not you. So ensure you're as least liquid as possible. Number 3, please try to turn everything into an asset. I think coming here to Australia, you get to experience culture differently. Let me give an example. Here people start driving early, and people drive because you need to move from point 1 to point B to be able to work. And that's a good thing. You need to look at things that way. That as I am accessing this thing, which a car is not an asset. You can want to say it the way you want to say it. But the truth is it's not an asset. It does not give you any income. But you can turn that and ensure you're making money out of it. Whether it is how fast you get to a job, whether it is how efficient it allows you to move around. If someone is in Kenya, for example, and it's a bad thing, but I challenge people that if you're in Kenya and you can avoid getting a car by a loan, avoid it. I chose a lifestyle of living where our buildings are. And if we move a little bit further, I have a bicycle, not a bike, a bicycle. Because if I can access and cut myself on certain things, and I can still survive, I will find a way to survive. The day I'll need something to enable my income. You see here, you need that car to enable your income. In Kenya, you can survive. If I need something that will push me to multiply my income, then I'll make a decision. Because with that, I'm able to know this thing, which might be a liability, I can turn it into an asset. You have a phone, by the way. Go to AI, go open, you can even do planners and sell. You have access to so much. So don't sit and wait and say, you know, I'll still wait for one extra job to come, but then you can create it. But the first thing that you really need to do, invest in your mind, invest in academia, really maximize. I think here people are really pushing themselves to study. Please don't let it stay in the books. Don't do it because you need a paper to stay here. Do it because you can apply that knowledge and question and be bold enough to make decisions because you have information. Invest in yourself, ask questions, have the difficult discussions with your parents. Hakuna ati pesa iko. Talk, and really fight, because money is hard. Have difficult conversations until you get to a point where you can see a path. So I hope in a nutshell that helps.
Thank you.
I just want to add something she mentioned, because she mentioned about starting small in Kenya. In Australia, there is micro investment apps that you can actually start as small as $5. So look for them, search your knowledge and increase your wisdom in terms of the finances.
Simple read that a young person can grab tomorrow and invest in their mind. One book from each one of you. Thank you.
My favorite one is called The Magic of Thinking Big.
Okay.
It's a very good book.
Okay, next one.
I have the main one that people say, the Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah. It's a classic. Next one.
There's a book called Start With Why. It's not a financial book. It's a guidance book for leadership.
Simon Sinek.
Yes, Simon Sinek.
Thank you.
Because once you've understood your core, once you've understood what boils your blood, what are you trying to achieve, then it really guides your path. So for me, Start With Why. It's not a financial book, but I think once you have like capacity to create, you have capacity of clarity, then it really guides you in life.
One more.
I read, I had two. I read the book Psychology of Money. It's a recent-ish book, right? It's he's called Morgan Housel, and it basically tells you about even how you think about money. You know, how you think about money has a lot to do with even how you grew up. How did your parents handle money? All those things are entrenched in you. They're somewhere in you. Some of them you have to let go of and now learn new things. That's what Martha is alluding to. You have to now begin to learn new things and let go of old things. And for me, I just say two things. Start now. Okay, that's my one. Number two, there's something called time value of money. Right? The apartment you buy from Martha today, she may sell it to you at 3 million shillings, but in the next 5 years, it will not be 3 million shillings. So if the more you delay, the more you say, I will get there. The day you're ready to get there, you come up to Martha to tell her, oh, remember that apartment? You've come 5 years later, she'll not sell it to you at that price. The price will have changed. If your dream is to own a home in Runda, if your dream was 10 years ago to own a home in Runda, the cost of that home in Runda then versus now is, my word, it's like X much more. So, start.
We had a question here. I'll come to you. Come to you.
Thank you. My name is Usas. I'm not Kenyan. I'm Nigerian. My daughter is Kenyan, Nigerian, and Australian. I've been following Sabo the past 4 months now. I've messaged them, WhatsApp, and all that. So, being a foreigner to Kenya, because I've been to Kenya like 6 times, but I'm here because of my daughter. So, I want to invest for her. Sometimes I saw something that says zero deposit. How can I invest or how can I buy the property for her? Or even for myself, but mostly for her.
More so in real estate. And that's why we're here with NCBA. We are sisters, we are partners. If NCBA comes without me, it could just give me a call. Just speed dial. Anyway, so yes, we work in partnership with NCBA as Sabo, and we help you do the necessary process. Now for us, one will require your passport. It does not have to be a Kenyan passport. As long as you have a passport, that's what we'll use. And through that passport, we're able to get you an agreement for sale, apply for you a tax PIN. So if you're not a Kenyan, you'll still have to get a tax PIN. And the tax PIN is to enable you have a title deed in Kenya. So we'll apply for you a tax PIN. And because of our partnership with NCBA, we will be able to present documents to justify why you need a bank account in Kenya. And that really isn't your process. As a foreign investor, now there are other things that you need to consider. So first, exchange rates, those are huge factors, especially when you're investing, and that's why we encourage you to open a Kenyan account. It helps with a lot of things. Now remember, as you're paying us, yes, we have an Australian, like a USD and an Australian dollar account, but when I'm paying you rent, because I'm collecting rent in Kenya shillings, I'll need to pay you rent in Kenya shillings. So it's usually easier as an investor, once you've finished paying and you've started earning rent, if you can continue investing in Kenya, so retain the money in Kenya, don't lose in the transactions and in the conversions, and have the money reinvested back into the country, it's easier. If you'd like to receive now the money here, we'd probably pay you directly in the account that you've opened with us at NCBA. Yeah, but it's very easy. We'll be able to get you a tax PIN at a fee, just because of the process. We'll be able to help you open a bank account, and the payment now, as long as you have the bank account, you have an online app, it's very easy. All payments can be done from here. Now, even whether you're a foreign investor or an investor here in the diaspora, all our processes are digitized. So that means everything is done online, so I'll be able to create your account, book for you the unit, you will sign digitally. If I am here, I can bring you the agreement for you to sign, but you can sign it digitally. You're able to track the progress of the project every Saturday, 5 p.m. Kenyan time, so you're seeing it on email every Saturday. You're able to see your statements directly from NCBA, directly from us. You're able to see your statements, what you've paid, and the balance, and the receipts with every payment that you make. So everything is done digitally.
I think the one small answer you didn't get is you are buying for your daughter, right?
No,
so,
my daughter.
Sorry?
My daughter.
Your daughter. Daughter. So yeah, you say, what, daughter? So what I would encourage all of us, Nigerian, Kenyan, whoever you are, if you want to invest for your child, you should have a trust. Open a trust in Kenya. We'll guide you as NCB what to do and how to go about it. So that if you're buying property for kids who are minors, then it's registered in the trust. Okay? They can access that at say age 21. So now the trust is you to decide what access point, yeah? But if you're interested in making sure that you're accumulating wealth for your child who is a minor, I would encourage you to have a trust registered back home. So every property you buy, if it's the beneficiary is the child, it goes into the trust. Now a trust is good because it can't be contested, right? If this property is worth, all the properties in the trust are worth $1 billion, that belongs to the child and cannot be contested. And you have the control of saying you can only access the $1 billion at 21, at 25, at 30, you see. So that's, if you're looking to do that for your daughter, then by all means.
I think I've got 3 questions. First question goes to Mother from Zavo. I know you've spoken a lot about having a loan and buying and building and all that. I was just wondering whether you also have a turnkey. That should mean they could already property that if I apply for the loan, I got the loan, got the house, and straight away I put a client in and start paying my mortgage or the money to you guys. So that's my first question to Mother. The second 2 questions are for sorry, I'm getting confused with the names, but I think it's for Rona. Rona, during your presentation you mentioned about the welfare. You mentioned whether I didn't catch it well whether this is a product by NCBA, and if this product is NCBA, how does it work for us who are here in Australia, who probably have got welfare system that we want to support our people here, and yet also we also support people back at home. I think that is a question that I wanted to ask you, and I think the other question has disappeared, but if you can answer me those 2 questions, I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, you can get a complete unit, meaning you're buying something and you start earning immediately. The only difference is if you're getting something that you've already finished building, you're paying it off at once. And so you can either have the money up front, so say give or take 90 days, you clear it off, or if you want to go through the mortgage route, you're able to approach NCBA. We have partnered with them, so they've done due diligence on Savo, and again, they're willing to fund us. So you can go through NCBA, apply for a mortgage, and now the process will begin. So if you're getting something that is complete, it's on cash, you pay cash up front, and start earning immediately. If you'd like a more flexible payment plan, it means either the project has just begun or it's currently underway and it will be probably done in a year or 2 years, give or take. Yeah.
So your question is on the insurance product that I was talking about. It's a last expense cover, okay? Its application it's actually a digital solution, so you can apply for it digitally as an individual, or you can come in as a group, right? So if you're ready, then you'd let me know, then I'll give you the link and what you need to do. It has a process. And it's a solution that NCBA has partnered with an underwriter called Badview Insurance. I don't know if you've heard about them, but they're an insurance company that was registered or that was started in the UK, and it was signed by a Kenyan. And the Kenyan, or the person, the founder of it, founded it on the basis of the challenges that he saw Kenyans experiencing abroad when it comes to when people pass away, right? So we are in partnership with them. They are the underwriters, meaning they're the ones who do the underwriting, and then NCBA pushes the product to now yourselves, the diaspora. So it's something that you'd be interested in. We can have a conversation on the side and then guide you on what to do, and then we can take it from there.
I think you mentioned about the document that you would require to assess one eligibility. Now, for us who are in Australia here, I don't know how do you assess my serviceability, because sometimes it's an issue here. I might try to hide some of the information, but the bank would always find my records and they would know whether I'm able to service that loan. So I just wanted to know whether you in Kenya have that ability to check on my financial ability to service the loan back home before you grant me the loan. Thank you.
The first thing I'll ask you is 3 documents. I'll ask you for your pay slips, for 3 months pay slips, okay? I'll ask you for your 6 months bank statements where your salary is deposited. And I'll ask you for your credit report here, Experian, TransUnion, whichever. Why I've asked you for your credit report is because I want to see your level of indebtedness in Australia. Okay? Then, as I'm checking your eligibility, I'm also checking your credit worthiness back home with your CRB. So if you had a HELB loan and you didn't pay and you came and you've been listed on CRB, my dear friends, please deal with that situation, because I'm not lending to you until it's sorted. However, if that situation actually exists, let me know. We'll sort it out. We'll help you to sort it out. We are ways to go about it. So, your eligibility is not for you to qualify for a loan in Kenya alone. I'm looking at you from a 360 degree, okay? I'm coming to tell you, you qualify for 12 million shillings, all things are constant. Meaning, I've checked your level of indebtedness in Australia, I've checked your level of indebtedness in Kenya, and based on all those things, assuming you have a mortgage ongoing here, assuming you have credit cards here, assuming you have a car loan here, we'll check all those. So the figure I'll give you at the bottom is in consideration that you're able to pay us, inclusive of all your expenses here and back home. Have I answered? It is on the information you provide. So you've given me your pay slips. You've given me your bank statements for 6 months. Your bank statement gives a story, by the way. You'll give your banker your 6 month statements, they come and tell, bro, let's be real. Why? Because it tells a story. It tells a story about how you spend your money. It tells a story, right? And even your credit report also tells a story about you and how you handle your money. It tells a story of, are you paying for your credit cards or not? It tells a story if you're defaulting on your mortgage. It tells a story. So it tells me the kind of person I'm also lending to. So sometimes you may come to the bank and you want X amount, you want 7 million shillings, and I tell you I can only give you 4.5, and you wonder why. It is your story. So it's important to realize or to know that whatever you do with your money in Australia, if you're looking to do something back home, I'm also looking at that. So?
I have a question for Gracious. For a young person like me, or I as a representative of the young people here, which is the best way to get in touch with you if we have if you would like to invest in properties? Which is the best way? Is it personal?
Good question. So for young people, you can follow us on Facebook. So if you go on Facebook, on Eagle Life, we've got a very big following, and we do Top Tip Tuesday every Tuesday. So every Tuesday is a Top Tip Tuesday. So we give tips on buying your first home, building a property portfolio, using your super, and everything in between. So follow us on Facebook, Eagle Life. You can search us, and I think they will also flight our details up there.
Hi, my question is to Gracious. You talked of wealth building by deferring your principal. And so my question is, how long can you defer your principal without, just by paying the interest only? So how long does the lender allow you to pay the principal only? And then my other question is, what is the shock that you get once you start paying the principal plus your interest?
Nowadays, there are lenders who can actually give you a 10-year interest-only loan. And I know there are some lenders that are actually working on a 15-year interest-only product. So remember, in that 10 years, your property has already doubled in value. And remember, money, so the reason why you don't want to pay down the debt on an investment property, remember the money, the $500,000 today, in 10 years, that $500,000 will be worth far much less than it is worth today. So that's why we want to maximize on our cash flow and be able to not pay down the debt. By the time we pay it down, we're no longer paying equivalent of the 500 because of inflation and all those things. So that's why, so they're now 10-year interest only. I know they're working on a 15-year interest only. And don't worry about what will jump. It's just a matter of rolling it over for another 10 years. But previously, yes, it would be difficult because maybe some had only the max was 5 years, some 3 years. But now with the 10-year, you kind of, yeah, it's a good strategy to work on. And the second question?
I think you answered.
I've answered, okay.
What happens in case somebody is not able to pay the entire amount? Maybe I've paid for four years, but on the 5th year I'm not able to pay. Do I lose the amount I had initially invested? Or do you assist in selling that asset? And the other question is with regard to, you have told us the interest is about 8% per annum, according to the data that I'm reading here. Do you get that money immediately you finish paying, or when the project is finished? When you start receiving your rent?
You see the way we've started our relationship here and we are communicating. If you invest and you stop communicating with me, I will be very, very brutal with you. Because this investment, see, I'm your financial independence partner. So I'm involved in your journey. So one, first, really communicate. If you get stuck, if something happens, if life, you've changed jobs, so you need to settle, you're able to communicate with us and we're able to know, is it a 1 month thing? So you need probably like a month, like a waiver, or 3 months, and you'll be able to catch up so that we're able to align with our invoices. So if you're stuck and you've communicated and you know it's a month but you'll be able to recover, we'll like pass a credit memo so that you're able to pay the next month. Option number 2 is you're really stuck. You don't want to lose the investment, but you probably need like 6 months to a year to continue.
So assuming you bought with us in Roysambu, so I'm using Roysambu because we've done it like an estate. So if you bought with us in Roysambu phase 5, which will be done in December this year, and I have Roysambu phase 6, which will be done in December next year, if you've paid me for a certain period and you're stuck in phase 5, I can easily move you to phase 6. I've retained your value, I've retained your purchase price, I've retained the location. The only thing is I've given you more time. That means if I'm moving you from phase 5 to phase 6, you have more time to catch up. Even if you need 6 months, 8 months, you've paid a little bit more. The third option is everything has gone south. Nothing is working. There is no hope. We refund you everything you have paid us within 90 days, and it's in your contract. So everything you've paid us, we will refund you. So assuming you've come in today, you've paid me 1 million Kenya shillings. I will give you 90 days. You'll give me 90 days after we've cleared the termination for me to be able to refund you. Why do we do that? My hope is that, and the way I've said it, by the way, I'll be very brutal if you go quiet on me when you start investing. But because it's a very personal journey, I don't think you will see it 4 years down the line and you want to pull out just because. I think by the time you're getting to a point where things are not moving, highly likely things are actually not moving. So our hope is that, yes, you're able to get your money back, and the day you can come back and start your journey as a servant. But really, really try your best, because you don't know how life happens. The days you can pay more, so that the days you cannot pay, you're already covered. Or if you have some more income coming in, as much as you can, try and see. Either clear as fast as you can, or do whatever you can to do your best. In terms of the income, that's a very good question. You'll notice, if you look at the payment plan that we've offered, there is no interest. That means someone paying within construction period, 2.5 years, and someone paying within 5 years are paying the same amount. So if you're paying within 5 years, or you're paying within 1 year or 2 years, the amount does not change. The only thing is you get possession once you finish paying for the house. And by possession, I mean living in the apartment, having your relatives and friends living in the apartment, or collecting rent from it. So I don't charge you interest. I retain possession until you finish paying for the houses. So once you finish paying, you get possession. You're not limited to 5 years. The 5-year payment plan is to allow you to start. But we encourage you to pay as fast as possible. You'll be seeing the weekly site updates showing you the progress of the site. But then be encouraged. As you see something coming up, just know your house is coming. So the days you can pay more, or closer to completion, you can clear it off. So you're not limited to pay faster, but the 5 years is to allow you to start. But you will only get possession once you finish paying for the house. So the house is retained under serve until you finish.
In terms of the earning, do you have other charges that comes in the apartment, maybe cleaning, security or something, or is fixed?
Yeah. So there are 2 types of costs, and all those fall under management, right? We have 2 types of management. We have common area management, and we have investment management. Common area management is standard. Whether we are managing for you or not as an investor, you have the responsibility to pay for service charge. Here you call board, you call it something. Yeah. So you have the responsibility of paying service charge. And service charge varies depending on the zone you're in. If you're in the high-end areas, so that's Parklands, Kileleshwa, it's about 3,500 Kenya shillings, that's about $35. If you're in zone A, where we began, it's about 2,500. Now, that service charge takes care of cleaning, garbage collection, functionality, security, everything to do with the building. Then we have investment management. This is an optional service, but allows you to earn passively. So we'll get your tenant, collect your rent, maintain your unit. Investment management is 8% of the net rent, meaning if your rent is 20,000, and I need to remove service charge of 2,500, the balance, 17.5, is what I charge, 8%. So if it's a studio, it's about 800 bob, that's like $8. If it's a 1-bedroom, it's about 1,000 bob to manage for you.
Just with the residential, when you're borrowing residential property, 80% is what you say, and if the banks lend you 80, you come up with your 20%. Does it also go for commercial the same? Are we talking about the same loan to value? Secondly, when you have careers, so let's say 80%, is it across every career? Like sometimes doctors have less risk. Like it depends on what someone is actually doing, right? So if a doctor have less risk than somebody else working as a laborer, so do you move the needle
Do we move, let's go 90% for a certain career, or do we stick 80% across everyone? Thirdly, you just talked about, what if it's a self-employed person, self-employer, wants to borrow money, so there's no pay slips. We're talking about financials, right? So how many years of financial data do you need, and do they need to be like accountant prepared, or we're talking about audited? And then last question is for Martha. For Savo, look, from the pictures here, I can see it's high density kind of apartments, right? So it's kind of then leaves you to question about certain services. Like, how many apartments when you're buying, someone is buying a property, do you guys say, okay, this project will have 30 apartments, or we have 40? What's the average apartments you guys make? And also, when it comes to the services, I'm talking about here, I'm just thinking out loud, things like water, right? Are we talking about pipe water, or are we talking about boreholes, and what's the lifespan? Because either you don't want to buy a property in 5 years, then some stuff or something starts going missing, then becomes a liability, or you want to dispose of the asset, but you can't.
Very good questions.
Thank you for your question, Mangi. I think I got 3 of them. So, you're right, I think I already spoke about financing for construction for a residential home, which is 80-20. You finance 80, you do 20. Now, a commercial building, say you want to own your own servo, right? We finance 70%, you put down 30%. That was the first question. Second question is, no, we don't variate. 80% is 80% cut across. What matters is your eligibility. Whether you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're an engineer, so long as you qualify for a loan, we finance 80, you put down 20. Was there a third question? Huh?
Self-employment?
Oh, self-employment, yeah. So 2 years audited accounts, that's where we start. Okay? That's the main key, 2 years audited accounts.
Thank you for that question. So yes, we do high density. Our kind of our target tenant is we call them young aspirational urbanites. These are young people straight from campus, 18 to 30, 35. Yani muzee kabisa na anataka sherehe 35. But we have a specific niche of tenants. We call them residents, not investors, our residents. However, now, number one first, these guys are young, energetic, or they live and thrive in community. So if you look at our buildings, we've designed with them in mind. We do not do homes. So no, we do not do homes where you can comfortably come and live in a 30-unit house. Savo is a large-scale property. It's a huge property. If you see any Savo, I think if you come to Nairobi, wherever you will be in Kenya, you will see Savo somewhere. They're very big buildings. Averagely, a small building for us is 200 units there. So averagely 300, 400, 500. But we've designed them in a way, at the core of Savo, we are developers. Remember I said everything is in-house. Our founder is an architect. So we designed them by the book in terms of how aeration is done, in terms of how functionality for the building is done and all that. Our buildings, we might call them affordable, but they're quite on the upper hand when you come to Kenya. In terms of facility management, so yes, there is service charge which takes care of the unit, investment management which takes care of your internal unit, and then now we have other services. So for water, we do boreholes. By the time we're identifying a piece of land, we needed to have test water levels, even the quality of the water in terms of even how much treatment is required, security. With security, we've really incorporated PropTech, that's property technology. So we have biometric systems. We are more systems, less human beings. So there is no negotiation in entering the building. If you've not paid rent, automatically you will not be able to access the building. If I terminate you from the building, you will not be able to access the building. CCTVs across all over. We have a visitor management system that takes care of the population that we host. In certain areas like Roysambu, for example, where we have the biggest, it's a city, it's called Royal City. We have our own, we partnered with the government, so we have our own police post, we have our own immediate medical service. We have a visitor management that sorts out the entire building, and then sorts out the individual estates. In terms of lifespan, so we build these buildings, Tsavo will be here for the next 100 years. So that's the aim. By 2030, we want everyone here to enable Tsavo get to 1 million investors. That if we have 1 million investors, highly talking about financial independence, I think the world will be at a better place. But because of that, this is a long-term goal. Remember, I am the property manager. So I'm with you for life. The people who bought with Tsavo 10 years ago are the people on my case today, because I'm with you for life. I manage, aside from your personal investment, I manage the building. I am the property manager. So I develop, but I also manage the building. So because of that, it is in our interest that we've done very high, good quality buildings that are long lasting. Now, because you as an investor, you're a partner. So every year you have an AGM. All buildings, every year you have an annual general meeting that keeps you updated. This is what is happening. This is where your money is going in terms of service charge. This is the condition of the building. You are allowed to come and visit. If you're here, we are able to do a virtual update for you to just see the state of the building. But our lifespan before we do a revamp is 5 years. So once a building has reached 5 years, we will let you know. Like at the moment, for example, we have reservoirs. So the service charge we collect, part of it is put as reservoirs. That means 5 years down the line, I need to replace a pump for the borehole. I have money. I will let you know as an investor, this is what we are currently doing. We need to replace this pump. This is the cost. This is the distribution. Right now, for example, where our offices are, those buildings, we finished them in 2020. It's called Coral Belts. We are currently doing a full revamp. So if you come, you'll think it's a new building because we painted, we changed the entrance and all that. You as an investor, you just need to be informed that this is what we are changing, this is what we are doing. Why 5 years? Things like paint, and especially a place like Kenya where like it's not purely tarmacked. So you'll find dust and stuff like that. Yes, we do very good quality paint, but over the years you need to sort of like revamp it a bit. Things like corridors, you need a proper cleanup and all that. So we have a plan for 5 years. So as you're coming in as an investor, that is some information that you'll be able to get. You'll be able to know in 5 years, and it's not 5 years during construction, after I have finished the project. So you have 5 years to pay, but 5 years from then. So it's give or take, you have about 10 years in terms of lasting of a building. But remember, in case there is a situation where I need to do a deeper investment in the building, as a shareholder, you as an investor, because you're a first partner, you're the first shareholder, we'll be able to inform you this is what we need to do. If we need to raise money directly from the investors, you will be informed how much of it, and an investor can say use this month's rent to cover for my contribution, but we haven't gotten there yet. So right now the reservoirs are enough to take care of the buildings. Yeah.
My question is for Mara again. I've seen you advertising the Pioneer in Eldoret. Do you have any other project in Nairobi that one can purchase at the moment?
Thank you for that. So we have different options. It depends. Remember, I had told you can either get something that is complete, so ready, and you pay it off at once, or get something that we're currently building. So if you're looking for flexibility, we have 4 projects that are in the market. So there's this one in Eldoret. In Nairobi, we have one near TRM. It's called Royal Suburbs Phase 6 in Roysambu. We have another in Parklands, opposite Steamer Plaza. And we have another one in Karen, near Galleria Mall. So those 4 are currently under construction, and you have a flexible payment plan, meaning you can pay up to 5 years. Then the other alternatives within Nairobi are either on cash basis, meaning it's a project that is complete, so you have about 3 months to pay maximum, or something that is almost complete, so it will be done like in December, so you have about 6 months to a year to pay. So we have multiple options. We're able to share with you the options that are currently available. Yeah.
Any more burning questions? Oh, okay.
Hi, Martha.
Hi.
Nice to you. So this is not a question per se. It's sort of a suggestion. I've been going through your websites, and I've been putting on this thing, but I've followed you guys for quite a while. And what I noticed is that we don't get a lot of information in there. I wonder whether you they will show you the bathroom, how it is. They will show you the lounge areas. They will show you everything inside the house. So even if, because probably most of those houses will be standard. So just one will just be enough to show us, give us a guide of what we are really getting into. Because it is good to invest, but you also want to know, how your house looks like without having to literally talk to someone or walking there to see the house.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you, ladies, for this really, really informative session. I think the question is just back to you, Martha, again. When it comes to, can you just run by the last of the acquisition time? So in terms of sectional titles, and also as if an investor wants to flip the property, we're getting it, I'm securing it. Once it's done, I want to sell it, So, and also the tenure of, is it a leasehold, freehold? Can you just run that?
Okay, thank you for that. Different projects are on different terms. I think right now we only have about 3 that are on freehold. But for example, where you've invested, it's a leasehold. So the leasehold, it depends with where we got the lease. Currently in Kenya, just to give you a bit more information, the government can only give up to 50 years. They stopped giving 99 years. Those things died. So even if you're doing an extension, you'll only get an extension of 50 years ongoing, right? So it means if I got a project, maybe if I was purchasing this land and I purchased it when it was maybe 10 years, I'll apply for an extension, so you'll get 60 years ongoing from the time you get there. So for yours where you are, it was 99 ongoing, so you're probably at year 80 something, but it was just because it was from the previous regime. Now in terms of the acquisition at the end, so one, ensure you finished paying by the time we finish construction, because we start the registration process immediately. That means that after construction, we surrender the mother title. Now the mother title, once we've surrendered it, we are able to start getting sectional titles, because each unit is an independent title on its own. So you get a sectional title. So assuming I have 300 units, I'll surrender the mother title and the government will be able to give me 300 sectional titles. But remember, everyone is at different stages, right? So for example, the project is called Savo Pioneer. Savo Pioneer has X number of units. I surrender the title, I get 100 sectional titles back. The sectional titles will come under the name Savo Pioneer, which is a company owned by Savo, right? Then Marvin has finished paying. Shoaib has finished paying. I have not finished paying. So my unit is unit number 1, yours is number 2, number 3. So you guys have finished paying, I do a transfer. So I'll take this title, this sectional title under unit number 2, I'll transfer it from Savo Pioneer to Marvin. Now Marvin, you'll sign the share transfer and they'll start the registration process for the sectional title. Now for the sectional title, there are 2 things that you need to be aware of. You'll need to have something called an Artisasa account. So an Artisasa account is a digital platform where you're able to track all your properties, and it's assisted by the government. So if you're in the country, it's easier when you're in the country because there's an OTP that needs to come to your phone number. So if you're able to access your Kenyan number here, the better. If you can't, we're able to help you with that process. We'll create an account for you, and once you've paid for stamp duty, you'll actually get an invoice on that platform. Once you've paid for stamp duty, you're able to track the title process. Now, different places are at different speeds. When the digitization started, they started with an area called Nairobi block. So there are certain areas in Nairobi which were under Nairobi block, meaning these were the areas they began from old paperwork to digitizing the entire title process. That meant that those areas are not as fast as other areas. So say for example in Kiambu Road, Kiambu Road, Thiliwa, that's out of Nairobi, that's in Kiambu County. That is easier. So you'd find a project like Roysambu Phase 1, Royal Suburbs Phase 1, which we finished earlier, which is in Nairobi block. The titles are yet out because we had registered them as subleases. We had to submit back the subleases for the sectional titles to come out. Yet, a project like Savo Sunset, which I finished in 2022, has titles. So it just depends with where it is, and we're able to advise you on every step, and we'll guide you. So we'll be able to tell you this is what is happening, this is what you need to do. If there's anything that you need to do, whether it's signing, because something like a transfer, we need wet ink. We can either, if you're in the country, you can sign it from home. If not, we can send it here, then you DHL it back to us. But our lawyers do the entire process. So our lawyers will be able to advise in every step of the way. Yeah.
Thank you, Martha. And for the final remarks, maybe just 1 minute for each one of you guys says something, final remarks before we wrap it up, and I will give it back to for a vote of thanks. And the conversation is not finished. When they drop back down, yes, stay with them, ask more questions, get the information they need, and take the action that we want to take. So, just final remarks.
Okay, I think first of all, thank you for making time to be here. Thank you for staying. I know a lot of pressure, but thank you for staying. Thank you for the questions you've asked. I hope we've given as much clarity as possible. We're still in Melbourne. We've taken your numbers. Some of you have taken our numbers. We'll be able to contact you. We have engagements happening from tomorrow, on Sunday, on Monday. We're still here. So it's a great opportunity for us to engage. Please share this message. Don't learn and then stay with it. Please share with the community, share with people who would benefit from this information. And don't be shy to ask the hard questions, so that by the time you've made a decision, you don't get a buyer's remorse. Everyone has gotten a mouse pad. It is written, it is time. So if you do not start today, as Rona has said, you will wait and you will just get a different price. And you will not beat me. I will give you based on what will be available then. So please take action, and it will be very lovely to have all of us as Samoans. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to us. And one final word that I would like to say, if you're here and you feel like this information is too much for you and you don't even know where to start, I do strategy calls. And in strategy calls, I tend to get where you are at. I get to see you in your shoes, and we map out a clear plan on how you can go about what you want to achieve so that you can gain your financial freedom. You don't have to know everything, you don't have to time the market. You just need a person to help you walk with you through the journey. And for sure, as everyone was saying about in this wealth talk, that you can actually get your financial freedom. You just need to start. So you can contact me through my Facebook account. I have my Facebook is Anne Moredi, and you can follow me up there. And I also have a link that I had shared, but I don't think we'll be able to see it. And you can still get my contacts if need be. So thank you so much. Thank you, KCV.
Thank you to everyone for coming out tonight. And my last remarks are from Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn says, profits are better than wages. Wages earns you a living, but profits earns you a fortune. Thank you.
Wow. I'll just say thank you and keep it very short. I think I cannot reiterate more. Start now and don't be afraid. Fear keeps people away from so many things. Don't be afraid. And that's why we're here. We're here to support you. So reach out to us. Like Martha said, we're still here. We leave for Perth next week. So it means we're still in Australia. So just reach out to us. We'll guide you on what to do, how to do it, when to do it. And yeah, we're your financial partners. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. Let's give him a hand as we welcome our chairman, David, for the final remarks and a vote of thanks. Thanks, David.
Thank you so much. Give them another round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we've come to the end of the dinner tonight. I know some people are traveling far, so that's why guys have left. I would like to first appreciate NCBA, Bank, Rona, and Sally. Sally has been busy over there opening accounts for you guys. Martha and the team, thank you so much from Savo. Grace, thank you so much for your book. All the community leaders that have turned up tonight to support. And of course, all of you who have made the intentional decision to come and learn about investment or to invest or to commit. I want to thank Gracious. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and share with us your very insightful knowledge in property and investment, and together with your husband. Thank you so much. And thank you so much together with your husband for preparing such an insightful presentation, and we look forward to learning more from you. Rocky left. I would like to say a big thank you to Rocky, who also left. To Shiro and Ivy, these two wonderful girls, to Apigeni to Makofi, our photographers, they are here to document this remarkable event, because you will need it. You go to YouTube, you will see yourself there. Na wakati utanunua hiyo nyumba, utakuja kusema hii video, I was there. This is the day I made the decision to invest. So asanteni sana Ivy, and of course Shiro, and your dad Alex, who is always supporting KCV with photography and videography services. If you need them, you take their contact. To Kaloki, thank you so much Kaloki for your influential, very, very professional emceeing. To appreciate our MC for tonight, very, very close friend of mine and close to KCV. Thank you so much. Of course, it's wonderful to see Paul here. It's wonderful to see kuna mzee ametoka. Mangusho, thank you so much for sticking around. Kevin, thank you so much. Kevin is at the back there. Kevin has partnered with KCV to offer remittance services. So kama wewe unatumia World Remit, if you're using World Remit or anything, we have our very own who has started a company, remittance company, very competitive rates. There will be an announcement very soon of this KCV T-Rex exchange. They will be launching in KCV very soon, and please go download that app. Talk to Kevin about the rates. Nimeona sijui dola iko what, 91? I think dola iko around hapo sahi kutuma nyumbani. They have branches in Germany and the UK, and it's a company that has been in existence for 9 years. They've been sending money from diaspora for 9 years. So they can send money all the way to South Africa, to West Africa, the whole of East Africa, and Middle East, even Fiji, if you want to send money there, they have that service. And it's so wonderful to see our very own people coming up with these economic solutions. The other one is for me to thank my committee members who helped to put this together, and the venue, Motasa and Almas Receptions. We would like to say a big thank you for organizing and setting up the venue for us. Sheriff, DJ, thank you so much for coming and blessing us with your music. Let us appreciate you. And through my leadership in KCV, I have promised that, I have promised that young talent in our community will be given a chance. They will be empowered. When you have these events, we will have young people to come and DJ for us. Kuna ma DJ wengine pale wawili, salimia nini? Chichi. That is our backup DJ. You know how mpaka amevaa uniform. So we have a lot of young talent in the community, and we are encouraging you to come out. Last and not least, Biashara Mashinani continues. Today was the first day. It was a great turnout. It was a sold-out event, courtesy of NCBA and Savo. This really shows how much you have put trust and interest into those two brands. Excuse me. Tomorrow, we have golf with the men. In the morning, we are playing golf at Malvan Valley Golf Course with the men at 9 a.m. 9:30, we will tee off, and we will finish at 2:30. So 6 hours of intense 18-hole golf, and it is serious tournament. After golf, tell your neighbor after golf. After the golf tournament, we will head to Safari Lounge in the afternoon for nyama choma for the men. Nyama choma and some drinks and whatever you want to have. So come in the afternoon, Palace Safari Lounge. We eat nyama choma, buy your Taskas there or Pilsner, buy your juice, buy your apple juice or buy your green tea. Na kuna chai fulani hapo wanatengeneza ya ginger tamu sana na asali. So please come in the afternoon, continue engaging with the team. If you have enough, if you don't, if your questions are many, come and ask them tomorrow. At the same time, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Women Connect in the KCV. Our women, they have high tea in Epping, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. High tea, wanava Bridgeton. So make sure you have that dress, Bridgeton. That's the theme. Of course, Ivy and Shiro will be covering it again for you tomorrow and taking those wonderful photos. Come with your floral dress, dress up to the maximum. Bridgeton is the theme. That is a strict dress code from the women. So please, for the men, release your daughters, release your wives tomorrow, okay? After that, we can join at Safari Lounge for the Nyama Choma. So there's a lot of engagement going on over the weekend. On Sunday, we will be at Dominion Chapel in Dandening Church for the church service up to 1 p.m. We will have an engagement with the church after service. Then after service, we will head to Dandening Stadium for volleyball tournament along Stag Road. After the volleyball tournament at 4 p.m., Kevin Hyde, Kenya Stars captain, soccer team captain, Ndakopale, we have a soccer match. We are playing Kenya versus Kabul. Is it Kabul FC? So it's Kenya versus, I think, Afghanistan team, yeah? So Kenya Stars will be playing an exhibition match, courtesy of NCBA and SAGO. The Kenyan team is fully branded NCBA and SAGO. So please come, support. We will be at P1 College in Nari Warren. P1? P12, sorry. Karibu niseme P2 College. P12 College in Nari Warren, 4 p.m. kickoff. We will have soccer playing, music, and barbecue on Sunday afternoon. So you have no excuse to be just bored in the house and watch a series. So please come, support us, come and engage. For myself as the Kenyan community chairperson, thank you once again. May God bless you as you continue to build wealth and continue to learn. And may you have a good night and drive home safely. May we share the grace. May we rise and share the grace. And now may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, and the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen.